Ìdí táwọn àgbààgbà yìí tó kó filẹ̀ sódòdó. Ó ti sọ́wọ́ àjẹkẹ́ wá jọba. Ìran láwọn àgbààgbà ìgbèdání jókì. Ó máa ṣe òye, ó máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò. Àwọn ọmọ ní ẹ̀gbọ́n wọ́n láwùjọ. Ọba mẹ́wàá ìgbà mẹ́wàá yóò máa lòlẹ̀ ayé gbọ́. Lọ́ba lóye Yorùbá, mo bẹ̀ yín ẹ̀ ṣayé ìrè. Kò bàjẹ́ láyé Olúgbọ́, kò má bàjẹ́ láyé Àrẹ̀sà o. Kò má sọrí tí yín bàjẹ́ òye. Abẹ́ òrí. Arúgbó Yorùbá ó máa fọwọ́ rọ́ọ̀rì kú mọ́. Ẹ̀bá ọ̀nà lọ́mọ kékèké kú sí kiri. Olóko lè lóko nílẹ̀ Yorùbá mọ́. Kíjokíjo lọ́dọ̀ ló mọ ìwà ń sáré kiri. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ ká lélẹ̀. Bájọ́ bá dùnmọ́ á ń padà sílé bàbá ẹni ni. Ṣebí ewúrẹ́ yẹn ò lọ ṣọmọ yá àgùntàn. Àgùntàn ló ní màmá mi òbí dúdú òye. Ṣebí látọdún tó ti wà nínú Nàìjíríà yìí. Ìdẹ̀ra là ń fojoojúmọ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn. Ṣùgbọ́n òmìnira náà fojoojúmọ́ fún àmọ́. Àsìkò ti tó, ilé tó lọ, òmìnira làfẹ́ o. Ó ṣe, àsìkò ti tó, ilé tó lọ, òmìnira làfẹ́ o. Ó ṣe, àsìkò ti tó, ilé tó lọ, òmìnira làfẹ́ o. Ó ṣe, àsìkò ti tó. Ilé tó lọ, òmìnira làfẹ́ o. Ó ṣe.
Wow.
Àsìkò tí tó. Ilé tó lọ, òmìnira làfẹ́ o.
This is Starr Radio UK. In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Wow. A very good evening and welcome to the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
On your smartphone.
It is called the...
in your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
I'd like to appreciate my producer, Mr. Frank David, Mr. Archie Amon. I say good evening, shout out to you, Omobolaji Abdullahi. Good evening to you on the TikTok. Good evening, Ajania Jala, all the way in Libya. Shout out to those of you that have joined us on the Mix LR. Good evening to you, Ogun Mola Abiodun. Shout out to you on the Instagram. Shout out to you on the TikTok. Shout out to you, Jack Olushola. And all the way, Elijah Ayo Afiz. Good evening to you, Mr. Taiwo David. My name is Alami Koiki. It's going to be a very fantastic evening, and I have a lot to discuss again tonight. It's good to be back on a Wednesday evening. The weather is so beautiful out there. Good evening to you as you're joining the program. Remember to share, the message across and let people know that the Starr Radio UK is back again on a Wednesday as we take you through what is happening, what is going on. I'll be well with our enemies, and I say good evening to you, Mrs. Abosede. Welcome to the Star Radio UK. We are live on multiple platforms. I say good evening and welcome once again. And I say good evening and welcome once again to those of you that have joined us. I have to do some bit of tickling there, some adjustment there. Well, I don't know where to start from. It's quite a lot going on as the strike has finally embarked, but it's also having a big impact on so many people back home. And we are very concerned. We hope, some kind of solution will come into the round table. Shout out to all the Star Radio UK. And I say good evening to as many of you that have joined us, wherever you are watching me from. Good evening, Crown Corps. Welcome. My name is Olami Koiki. It's been coming. We saw it coming. We got to be honest with ourselves. Everyone saw it coming. The president kept saying, good evening to you, Mr. Fab. Shout out to you all the way in Abeokuta, Mr. Abiodun Timothy Agbeloba. Shout out to you, the voice. Ijaya is the voice. Good evening to you, Mr. Femi Adeyemi. There is a lot going on in Nigeria. And I want you to sit back. Pastor Mo, good evening to you as you're welcoming into the program. Remember to just do that but of sharing. We are live on multiple channels tonight. The topic is all about the labor union on strike. Saudi Arabia. I spoke to Professor Banji Akitoye. I'll be telling you more about that later on. Many Yoruba people, many Nigerians are now living in abject poverty. Abject poverty. When I say poverty, big time poverty. Shout out to you, Abide Mioladipupo, Oluwafolabi Sheon. Say keep up the good work. Keep the comment coming. Olakunle, shout out to you. Moki Buboyin. We're gonna start with the program, but at about 7:30, we're going through the self-determination. You know how we do it. I'm a free lover. I love self-determination. It's not a crime. But let's start with this before we go into it.
ẹlẹ́pẹ̀kẹ̀lẹ̀ lóní gbọ́dọ̀ rọ́ṣọ fùrọ̀dán ìjàgùdù láàrin ọkọ àtìyàwó gbọ́dọ̀ dóhun àfìsẹ́yìn. ó ti tó gẹ́. báwo là á ṣe ń ta ká tètè tọ́ kó má bàa dẹran onídìí láàrin lọ́kọláya mọ́. kò dára kọ́kọ́ mọ lùyàwó bí ẹni lu bàrà tàbí kíyàwó kọ́kọ́ kọ ọbẹ̀ mọ́kọ lórí. ó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ọpẹ́ ni fún Reverend Mrs. Margaret Ọláwáyé ní pátùrọ́jì tó kọ̀wé kan àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tí ó fòpin sí rògbòrìyẹ̀ nínú ìdílé. Enough is enough on domestic violence. lórúkọ ìwé náà ó ṣe pàtàkì láti rà á. ṣé ẹ rántí arábìnrin òǹkọrin ìgbàgbọ́ ni Sister Ọ̀ṣínnàṣì tó dára alẹ̀ nítorí ìjàgùdù. àló tó gẹ́. àbẹ́ ìmọye ìdílé tọkọ tàbí ìyàwó ti dèrò ẹ̀wọ̀n látàrí èdè ìyédè tó.
Well, that is coming back again. That stop violence against women. Very, very important. I say good evening to you, to those of you that have joined us tonight.
ẹlẹ́pẹ̀kẹ̀lẹ̀ lóní gbọ́dọ̀ rọ́ṣọ fùrọ̀dán ìjà.
Marriage is not a destination, but it's a journey that entails patience, endurance, mutual respect, forgiveness, and a number of other things to get one to the desired destination. But a marriage can be funny at times when it turns to other side, like great sadness, worry, a high level of tension, anxiety, and depression. But do not panic. Enough is enough on domestic violence is the solution. I recommend a book for you. Enough is enough on domestic violence by Reverend Mrs. Margaret Olawaye Nefatuloti. For free shipping, the book is available on Amazon.com. For more info, log on to www.widowsadvocate.org or email widow55@gmail.com. Enough is enough on domestic violence, a solution book to all marriage problems. Get your copy now.
Now, let's come back again. If you're joining me, I welcome you all. This is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. My name is Olami Koiki.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Every Wednesday, I bring you through what is going on in Nigeria. It's called the Naija Voices. This program has been running for the last 6 years, and we'd like to be grateful to each and every single one of you. You got to turn it up tonight because I want to drive you home. I want to make sure that you get home safely. The weather is not too good outside there. It's a little bit nippy. Happy birthday to King Charles yesterday. Happy birthday to anyone celebrating birthday in the month of November. And I say once again,
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
well, you can join us on the Starr Radio UK network, on the Twitter, on the YouTube, on the Facebook. Remember that if you're following us, well, it's no longer Twitter, it's called the X Space. And I say good evening and welcome once again.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, it is going to be very interesting tonight. NLC, the Nigerian Labour Congress. Many Nigerians have been asking, have there been compromise? We know that the job of the NLC is to protect workers. For the benefit of those of you that are not from Nigeria, I'm going to take you through, the NLC and what it means and what it's meant to be serving for those back home in Nigeria. Good evening to you, Mrs. Wurala Adebioti, and the rest of you that have joined us this particular evening on the Starr Radio UK. My name is Olami Koiki, and I would like to say it's been a very 48 hours of stress, depression, outpatient, ingoing patient. Almost every part of Nigeria is now going to be grounded by the NLC. NLC was founded in 1978 and it's been running as an organization that protects or a labor that creates wealth. I'm going on the Nigerian Labour Congress website and, I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know that is happening in the last couple of days, in the last couple of weeks. But it seems that the federal government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu have not been able to get the grip and sort out the problem between the federal government and the NLC. Shout out to you, Mr. Peter Pan, Fisayo, Fagbule, Ajayi. I say good evening to you. Omotosho, Olawumi, I welcome each and every one of you, giving a full respect to the names. I have been following NLC for some time. But it seems that this time around, NLC is saying enough is enough. So let me take you through the history, the background history of the Nigerian Labour Congress. The Nigerian Labour Congress was formally constituted as the only National Federation trade union in the country in 1978. That was about 44 years ago. Before then, 4 labor centers existed. These are the Nigerian Trade Union Congress, the Labour Unity Front, United Labour Congress, and the Nigerian Workers' Council. I'm sure one of your parents or some of our parents will have been a member of any of these 4 until NLC merged or was something that was constituted in 1978. And I'm now asking Nigerians, do you think that NLC is right to go on indefinite strike? You might want to put it in the comment section so that I might be able to read through and find out if truly Nigerians are excited, Nigerians are pleased with the NLC taking the battle to the federal government and saying enough is enough. There is something needs to be done. Good evening to you, Alao Samson, and welcome to the program as well, those of you that have joined us across the globe. I am still giving you that the union, the NLC, the emergency of the NLC literally ended decades of rivalry and rancor involving the 4 centers and union affiliated of them. The union, numbering over 1,000, were all restructured into 42 industrial unions. And tonight, if you're not from Nigeria, Nigeria is now grounded gradually, not fully, because some states are still not working in line with the NLC. But it seems that the banks, the airport, the hospital are now winding down slowly. And I would like to say again, for the benefit of our listeners, this is still the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Well, we'll say welcome if you're joining me for the first time on the Starr Radio UK Niger Voices. The Nigerian Labour Congress.
Are you ready to turn it up? All around the world.
As I come back into it, the organization has had a check history, surviving 2 instances of dissolution of its national organs and consequent appointment of state administrator. The first was in 1988 under the military regime of General Ibrahim Babangida, the monster. I call Babangida the monster. We should be asking Babangida what happened to the death of Dele Giwa, a brilliant journalist that was killed with a Pasu bomb. But it seems that the NLC survived Babangida, even though Babangida is now sitting on the wheelchair. We hope and pray that he would come out and tell us what happened after the most fiercest election in Nigeria in 1993. Again, the Congress opposition of Anti-People's Structural Adjustment Program incensed the military administration to take over the NLC. Do you think that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be able to take down the NLC? Or do you think that the NLC is taking down Bola Tinubu's government? What an interesting time to be alive. The second military intervention was in 1994, a year after the 1993 election that was cancelled by Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. During the regime of General Sani Abacha, you remember Abacha? Every time we need money, we go to Abacha. Good evening to you, Kasim Abdul Olalekan. Shout out to those of you in Shaki and Shekpeteri, where many Nigerians or Yorubas have been massacred. I am wondering whether we have a governor in Oyo State. All these governors are failed governors. They must be held accountable for the death of many Nigerians. Olaitan Oluwafemi, shout out to you and good evening to those of you. Automobile mechanic, I hope you are getting jobs. I love mechanic. Anytime I have problem with my car, I go to Mukaila in London. I haven't driven for the last 3 years and I'm looking into going back, but the insurance is so high. Majid Ibrahim, good evening to you. Shout out to my beautiful mother. I say, good evening and welcome to my family. I say, this is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And maybe we should remind you that on December 2nd, something is coming up in London and we want you to be part of it as well. It's called the Yoruba Day. This is being put together by the Yoruba World Media and the Central Office. And if you're not aware, maybe we should tell you to be part of that. Also, December 3rd, Heritage is coming up as well. The Heritage Festival called the Progressive Union. But for now, let's listen to this.
Oh yes, it's Yoruba Thanksgiving Day, organized by Yoruba UK Central Office. On the 2nd of December 2023, the Yoruba community will be holding a Thanksgiving program where we shall be meeting in person Yoruba dignitaries, leaders, men and women of substance. This Thanksgiving is not only meant to promote Yoruba unity, harmony and to speak in one voice, but also to give a worthy of thanks to Almighty for the privilege and opportunity so far. Yoruba Thanksgiving Day scheduled for Saturday, 2nd of December 2023 from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. UK time at Abadasha Acham College, Pips Road site, Pips Road, London, SE14 5SF UK. 135 Pips Road, London, SE14 5SF. Convened and fully supported by Yoruba UK Central Office, Koikimedia, Bedu Magazine, Dr. Zabi Talk Show, YWC Worldwide.
All that is coming up December 2nd. Shout out to you in Woolwich. What is the weather like in Woolwich? Triple DRS said they are hypocrites. They cannot be trusted. Gone are the days during the time of Pa Imodu. That was when you would have what can be called real advocate of workers. Mr. Kayode Afolabi, good evening to you. Mrs. Esther Olawumi, shout out to you. And good evening to as many of you that have joined us on all the other platforms as well. I welcome you once again to Allahu Baba. And I say, oh, you want more volume? What is going on? The volume is quite high and I hope you can hear me. Maybe I should move it a little bit closer to me. The volume is quite high. Those of you on the Mixlr, please let me know if the volume is still good as I have moved the speaker very close to me. Once again, good evening to as many of you that have joined us. My name is Olami Koiki and I'll be taking you through the program tonight. It is called the...
This is Starr Radio UK.
The best radio show.
We are the best radio show. It's called the African and Caribbean radio station in London, 24/7, 7 days a week. And we say... The NLC survived Abacha, the most brutal time in the history of the Yorubas, the Nigerians, the indigenous people. And as we say all the time, what do we need to do? Is the NLC capable of telling President Bola Tinubu their demands? I'm still giving you the background of the NLC called the Nigerian. Kazim Shokoto, good evening to you. Automobile mechanic says, yes, I'm getting a lot of jobs. Shout out to those of you in Libya. Shout out to those of you in Cotonou. Shout out to those of you in Côte d'Ivoire. Shout out to Dr. Sunday Adeyemo Igbowo. I have a video that I'm going to tell you what Igbowo said on Monday. The second military intervention was in 1994 during the regime of General Sani Abacha, whose government also became fed up with the labor movement agitation for the restoration of democracy. Do you think that President Bola Tinubu is already having enough on his table? As I speak to you right now, the president is not back in Nigeria. I couldn't confirm that with Archie, but I can tell you that President Bola Tinubu is currently en route to Guinea-Bissau for the Independence Day. So much is going on. And once again,
This is Starr Radio UK.
The best radio show.
All around the world. Are you ready to turn it on?
shout out to those of you in Dubai. I love Dubai. Green Yoruba Nation, innovative, Adekunle Plenty. To those of you on the Instagram, I say, one more time. And to those of you on the channel across, watching us, listening to us, I welcome you once again. Allahu Baba said, Tinubu don't have good thinking. No matter how good he tried to save Nigeria, the terrorists Bororo take over, they will scatter it again. Who is fooling who? Who is fooling who? My question to Nigerians tonight is, do you think that NLC is capable to do exactly what their demands are? Do you think that they will not compromise? Because it is now 2 days, 48 hours into the indefinite strike. My mom got caught up in one of those strikes during Jonathan regime. The former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Alhaji Saheed Akinleye, good evening to you. Good evening to those of you in Ekiti. 191 local government in the southwest. Good evening to you. 774 local government across Nigeria. I say shout out to every one of you in Sokoto, in Kano, in Bauchi, in Port Harcourt. My name again is Olami Koiki. This is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Queen Africa, welcome to the program, ma. I'm asking the question, do you think that NLC are capable to hold this government to ransom without compromising and getting the demand of the workers? It's all about the workers. I hope it's not about the president of the NLC, Ajaru. Shout out to you, Easy Dollar, all the way in Miami. Shout out to those of you in New York, California, baby. And this goes to you all the way in Miami, Easy Dollar. Shout out to all the staff that are working with you. And I say good evening to those of you in Canada, Kunle Bakers, Shegun Ono. And we're sending our love and greetings to his sister, Bemileke. The mother died some few weeks ago. She will be buried anytime soon. We are with you and we love you. And those that are also going through difficulties, I say shout out to you. Easy Dollar, this one is for you. You can say that is a double dose for you, Easy Dollar. We come back again and I'm asking the question. The question is, can the NLC get the demand of the workers? It's not about having a strike. It's about getting the bargain for the workers, increase in wages, making sure that the workers are well taken care of. Aziz also Adeyemi. We have another Aziz here, and I say shout out to you, Aziz Adeyemi. My name is Olami Koiki, and I welcome each and every one of you. The NLC was able to survive 2 military dictators, the late Sani Abacha and also Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. And we should be asking Babangida what happened to Dele Giwa that was killed in a bomb blast, and also what happened to the 1993 election. Alhaji Sai say, good evening, sir. More blessing to your strength. I say good evening and thanks for joining us as well. D1 on TikTok. Good evening to you. I hope it's not the same D1 and Kenny Music. Temi Isiba, good evening to you. Iwakbeluewa, good evening to you. And the GR1 group, shout out to those of you as well. At about almost 7:30 to 8, I'll be telling you everything you need to know about self-determination. And like I said, there's a message from Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho. You want to sit back and make sure you don't miss that. Mrs. Comfort Ologunja, shout out to all our workers here in UK as well. Now, let's go back again. The second military intervention was in 1994 during the regime of General Sani Abacha, whose government also became fed up with the labor's movement agitation for the restoration of democracy. Like the initial, the military government dissolved the NLC National Executive Council and appointed a sole administrator. Bola Tinubu, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, would not be able to dissolve the NLC because the good thing is we are no longer in the military regime. Welly J. Boy Sulaiman, good evening to you. If you're living in UK, I welcome you once again. Those of you that are watching us on the channel, one of the channel, you might likely be cut out. So you might want to join us on the other sister broadcast. I'm not too sure what is going on there. It seems that something, the juice is not feeding into the iPad.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up? Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
We're live 24/7. Remember to follow us around the globe, wherever you are. And also, if you have a message, you can send it to info@starradiouk.com. We are also on the X space. We're also on the YouTube. Remember to subscribe to the channel as well. My name is Olami Koiki, and this is the Starr Radio UK, Niger Voices. Now, let's go back again one more step. The dissolution exemplified the travails of the Congress, its leadership, affiliated the state councils under the military rule, aberration, prolongment, unlawful detention of labor leaders. Do you think that Bola Tinubu can start detaining some of the leaders of the labor unions and the TUC? Also, General Abacha made a decree that actually banned a section of the movement from holding leadership position in the Congress. Abacha himself are finally gone. What an interesting time. What do you think Tinubu will have to do? Shout out to you all the way in Maryland. I love Maryland. I'll be in America sometime next year, God's willing. I should touch down many states, from Miami to Maryland to Texas, and most importantly, to New York City. Thank you so much, all the way in Maryland, and we love you all in the state. I don't have a problem if the NLC are going on indefinite strike, but I hope that by the end of this strike, they are getting the bargain that they expect to get from the federal government. There's no point going into the strike without getting the bargain. What do you think? After, however, with the death of General Sani Abacha, the union reclaimed the Congress, culminating into a national delegate conference that was held on January 29, 1999, just less than few months before we transfer into what we call the 1999 democracy, with the 1999 fraudulent constitution. The leadership led the NLC from 1999, February 2007 was headed by Comrade Adams Oshiomhole. And you all know what happened. Oshiomhole is currently one of the staunch supporter of the APC. He was also one time a governor. Abdulwahid Ibrahim Omar became the president of the NLC from February 2007 to 2011, but on the 1st of March 2011, the Nigerian Labour Congress held its 10th National Delegate Conference at the decisive moment in the life of our great country and the annals of humankind, with the theme, Building a New Nigeria. Do you think that the NLC can strike a deal with President Bola Tinubu in building a new Nigeria? What about those of us that doesn't believe in Nigeria, that now think that Nigeria has expired and it is time that Nigeria be de-amalgamated? The role of the working class towards national transformation. Consequently, upon the successful conduct of the 10th Delegate Conference of the Congress, the following national officers were all elected. Do you think that the NLC has what it takes? What is your take on all these? What has been the reaction of Nigerians in the last 48 hours? Mrs. Funke B, good evening and welcome once again. What do you think the reaction of Nigerians? Do you think that Nigerians are in support of the NLC, or they are just fed up of everything? Already, the country is going through a lot. There's a lot of tension in the country. Many Nigerians are crying out. They are crying out because hope is fading away, and struggle of the masses is happening across the southwest, the southeast, and maybe we should just listen to this because there is now hunger around the world, in the country.
This is our market. This is our market. Wọ́n ti pa gbogbo àwọn màmá tó wà níbà wọ́n ti fẹ́ bà ayé wọn jẹ́. Màmá kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Èlò ni kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Wọ́n ní kí ló pé 2.6 kí ló dé? God, people are suffering here. People are suffering here. People are suffering here. People are suffering here. Kí ló dé? People are suffering here. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
People are suffering. I spoke to Professor Banji Akintoye, and he was concerned about the suffering going on in Nigeria today. Once again, welcome to the Starr Radio UK. Shout out to those of you again. Kazim Shokudo say, kudos to you, Mr. Koiki. Keep it up. Mr. John Ayola, welcome once again.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world.
The best radio show. The best radio show.
We are the best radio show in London. I welcome you once again, Olakunle, Adeniyi, Akim, and shout out to as many of you that have joined us. And I say good evening to many of you that are also watching quietly around the world. Do you think that the NLC would be able to hold this government accountable and resolve all the problems being faced as we speak right now? What is your take on that? Good evening to you, Mr. Kende. Otumba Destiny, good evening to you. Benga Yodele Odua, good evening to you. Shout out to all and every single one of you. What is going on in your state is quite terrible. Shekpeteri, I'll be telling you about that when we get to the self-determination. But for now, as we are now going straight into the other section, let me tell you some of the headline. It is not just about NLC. The ASU strike has already kicked in as well. It seems that there's pressure on the table. Good evening to you, Mrs. Ronke, Mr. Olusegun Odunuga. Good evening to you, and welcome to those of you that have joined us as well on the Starr Radio UK. I'm not sure I can see the comment coming through on the Starr Radio UK channel. Let's see. Okay, it's back on. Shout out to those of you that are watching us as well from there. Bishop Additional, good evening to you. My Jack for Care is a cleaning services right here in UK. Let's say shout out to you at exactly 1800.
People are suffering.
That is Awolowo Market. Many Nigerians are now crying out. Many Nigerians are asking questions. There is pressure as we speak right now. Let me tell you some of the headlines as I have it right now. Nigerian workers strike over attack on the union leader on popular economic reforms. The country is going through a lot at the moment. 980 billion naira was lost by 7 firms. Guinness, Dangote, Sapele, and the rest of them. Easy. Thank you so much for the coffee board. My name is Olami Koiki. And once again, this is for you, Easy. As I welcome you into the program, we are down here in UK. We are concerned, citizens, and we are worried with our loved ones back home. And it seems that things are not going as planned. My question, good evening to you, Mrs. Funke, okay? My question then is, what can we do to save humanity? Wasiu Adiremi, good evening to you and welcome. Keep the comment coming. I'll be picking them up along the program. Are you worried? Do you have loved ones in Nigeria? Are you concerned? The report I was telling the Starr Radio UK team this morning, Olabisi Onabanjo Hospital, the workers have now shut down. That means that if somebody have a huge emergency, what do we do? If a strike went ahead in this country, the military will be brought in to drive the fire truck. They'll be drafted into the NHS, the hospital. Is that the same thing in Nigeria? Good evening to you once again to Mrs. Selisa Damade. Voodoo economy. Which one is which one be voodoo economy? Mrs. Eunice Olorun Toba, a very beautiful name. Ekabo Sorieto. All the way in Ifo, local government, shout out to you. I love every single one of you. My name is Olami Koiki. Those of you on that platform, there's likely that you might disconnected. Simon Adebisi, a big uncle, shout out to you. James Olajide, are you worried that the Nigerian economy is not doing very well and we are now into day 2 of the, what we call, is this a popular strike? Do you think that Nigerians are happy with the NLC going on indefinite strike? Thank you so much. Good evening once again, our mother, Mrs. Eunice Olorun Toba, a very beautiful name. Yeyedara is live as well. Good evening to her. And to the Yoruba World Media, good evening to you. Independent Media, good evening. And we are all doing very well. Prince, all hey Biafra, Woto Woto, Airborne. Shout out to the DOS and shout out to the Autopilot. 2 different versions. But it seems that the most important thing is we must all remain focus on the ball, especially those of us that are asking for self-determination. Thank you so much, Prince. Shokumbi Adetunji Temitope. Prince is not a pet name. Alex Mamu. Shout out to those of you that are living here in UK, in Europe. But one thing is, we must not lose focus for those of us that want self-determination. There's too much division in the Biafra, too much division in the Yoruba movement, and we must remain on the ball. Okpe, all the way in Ojaodon. Shout out to those of you as well. Adigbola Olademeji Mukinsa and Remilekun Adeleye Mukiyima. Akim, one of my names, my friend's name. MX Media, good evening to you. And those of you in Libya, shout out as well. I'm asking the question, one of the headlines says, Nigerian workers strike over attack on the union leader. Is this about the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress? Or is this about the workers? What is your take on that? What is your take on that? Let's take this and I come back and then we continue with the program once again. As we say all the time, this is coming from the president himself.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways, but there's not.
So, is the other way right now for the union to say, President Bola Tinubu, you failed to discuss with us? The president says he wished there's another way, but in fact, there's no other way. The only way is everybody must tighten up their belt. Do you agree with the president or do you disagree with the president? What is your take on that? Let's listen to this. I'm coming back. And that is, the beautiful dance from Dr. Oloye Igboho. Maybe we should listen to this as well.
Ọlọ́run ni mo ṣe wẹ̀ fún yẹn o. Gbogbo nǹkan tọ́nà fún bàbá mi láyé kò fún bàbá mi ò tí ì yọ̀ǹda mẹ́sàn-án fún mi ń bẹ̀ ó kọ̀ mí ju ti bàbá mi lọ. Gbogbo àti bọ́lá mo lọ sí bàbá mi. Ojúmọ̀ ni mo kọ́ mọ́ dàkọ̀ mi ń bì kan àyẹ̀dà kẹ́ sọ́n dáadáa tàbí kẹ́ sọ́n burúkú ẹ̀ sàṣọ kan òmìnira fún. Bí n bá sì kú lè gbà ṣe mi ṣe.
Lè gbà ṣe tó bá ti kú, that's the question. I'm asking again, do you think that, well, Prince Shokunbi says it's all about the leader, sir. Bishop Adeshino, Waris Jinodu, what are you saying? Let's pick up with some of your comment quickly. Bishop Adeshino say NLC entity is part of Nigerian politics, body behind closed door. Bishop Adeshino say now President Bola Tinubu government speaking out that Buhari government left Nigeria economy bankrupt. We're going to come back to that in just about a few minutes. Maybe, just maybe we should expatiate on that. But before that, let's listen to this. I'm going to come to you, Bishop Adeshino.
Union, Maryland chapter is at it again. Odua Progressive Union, Maryland chapter, a social-cultural organization committed to the advancement of Yoruba social-cultural values, preservation of the Yoruba language, heritage, and beliefs, invite all, most especially sons and daughters of Odua, to this year's Heritage and Cultural Day. Date is Sunday, 3rd December 2023. Venue, 9816 Liberty Road, Roundestone, Maryland, 21133, United States of America. Time, 4 p.m. Featuring Ewe chanting, Bata token drum display, Yoruba cultural dance and awards presentation, while a popular Yoruba musician will spice up the event. Come and witness a display of the culture that stand the test of time on Sunday, 3rd December 2023 in America. Odua Progressive Union's Heritage and Cultural Day. You can't afford to miss it. Odua Biwao. Announcer Chief Dixon Olugoji, aka Alepepe of Baltimore, Maryland, USA.
And those of you in Maryland, that is for you. Make sure you join the Odua Progressive Union Maryland US Chapter Heritage and Cultural Day. Is happening December 3rd, 2023, exactly 4 p.m. Venue 9816 Liberty Road, Randallstown, MD 21133. You can get in touch with Makonjola Adetunji, the secretary, on +1 443 6100. A culture that stood the test of time. We are Yorubas. President Bola Tinubu says I should tell Nigerians that no. Let's stop that. President Bola Tinubu says I won't stop working for a better Nigeria. Do you think so? He's also accusing the former President Muhammadu Buhari of collapsing the economy. What is actually going on in Nigeria is the question I'm asking tonight. Let's go straight to some of what you're saying. Olamide says, Mr. Olayomi Koiki, good evening to you and good work. Also, Bishop Adesina said, my question is, why can't Tinubu summon Buhari or arrest him? That is the question I'm asking as well. Thomas Patton on the TikTok, welcome to the Starr Radio UK. And if this is the first time, I say, welcome. Once again, welcome.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
I come online every Wednesday at exactly 6 p.m., 1800 hours, where we discuss what is happening in Nigeria and so many things happening around those that are campaigning for the disintegration of what is known as Nigeria today.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Every Wednesday, or you can join me Monday to Friday with the Starr Radio UK team at exactly 11 o'clock when I discuss everything on Nigeria on...
This is Starr Radio UK.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
You can listen to us on different platforms. Mrs. Cecilia says Tinubu never promised them anything during his campaign. No manifesto to take till date. He only said power is not given. He said grab it, snatch it, and run with it. He actually did. Which he actually did. I remember Tinubu was in, Mrs. Aduke Adese Association of Armed Robbers. It seems that my listeners tonight are not happy. Which side are you? Are you not happy with the NLC? I thought the NLC is meant to be for the workers. Mrs. Joyful and Miss Abiodun, shout out to you. Waris Jinadu say Barawo or Bara. This is for you, my brother. I met you on the bus all the way from Woolwich, and we end up traveling for almost 1 hour. I welcome you once again, a big uncle that says, Koiki, let me help you with this, your luggage. And you know what? I'm Baba Ijebu. You know, when Ijebu people go out, you have three, almost every time I'm going out, if I'm not going with my backpack, it's like I have multiple stuff with me. I have one there, And, Mr. Ogbara says, Mr. Koiki, you've left your plastic bag on the London bus. I say, and he actually helped me. This is for you, a big uncle. And he was privileged to have a video call with Dr. Loyegbo. Welcome. That is for you also, Mrs. Temidayo Amosun. Welcome.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Shout out to those of you in Nigeria. Shout out to those of you that still believe in one Nigeria. It is your right to believe in one Nigeria. Kayode Afolabi said, nothing Tinubu can do. I want to go back to what Mrs. Cecilia says there. Tinubu actually said, catch it, run with it, right here in London at the Old Kent Road while he was still campaigning during his visit to the Chatham House. And Mrs. Cecilia says, and I quote, Tinubu never promised them anything. During his campaign, no manifesto till date. He only said power is not given. He said grab it, snatch it, and run with it. But Tinubu is saying that I won't stop working until there is a better Nigeria. I didn't say that. That is what President Bola Tinubu is saying. But he also reminded me to tell you this.
The cost of fuel has gone up. Food and other prices have followed it. Households and businesses struggling. Things seem anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship you face. I wish there were other ways. but there's not.
Well, once again, a very good evening to those of you that have joined us.
Because of
Well, let's wait and listen to the next one coming again from Dr. Oloye Adeyemo Igboho.
You can say anything you like about me. I don't care. I'm still strong because God is my creator. But remember, this world is not our home. We will live one day. Thank you.
Well, you can say anything about Dr. Chief Sunday Igboho. He doesn't care because this world doesn't belong to every one of us. One day, we would all exit. To Agbekoya Society of Nigeria, they're going to be celebrating in 20 days or probably less than that. They'll be celebrating 25th and 85th years anniversary on behalf of the Starr Radio UK or the Agbekoya Association of Nigeria. We say thank you so much to Americana as well. And as we continue with the program right here from the studio, I continue to monitor the comment as well. And also to Mrs. Bemileke mother, may her soul rest in peace. Just like we said to Alaji Adisadogon and many people. We lost another artist today in Nigeria. May his soul rest in peace. We hope that we get justice for Mohbad. Wura Adebuti, a mother, say, Igboho Osha. Akim Kolawole says, Nigeria is already collapsed. 100 leader cannot revive Nigeria back. The way out is to break Nigeria into pieces. What about those that doesn't want Nigeria to dissolve? What about those that still believe in Nigeria? President Bola Tinubu says, I can give assurance. President Bola Tinubu has said that his administration was unrelenting in his quest, just as we are also relenting in our quest to self-determination. President Bola Tinubu has said that his administration was unrelenting in its quest to grow the Nigerian economy, attract foreign investment, create jobs to many Nigerians, especially the youth, which is about 60%, elevate the hardship caused by the removal of the fuel subsidy. Tinubu spoke while declaring opening the 19th Nigeria Editor Conference 2023 that was held in Ibom Icon Hotel in Akwa Ibom with the theme Stimulating Economic Growth, Technological Advancement, the Role of the Media, which is what I'm doing right now. The role of the media. Do you believe in President Bola Tinubu? Do you think that the president is capable to handle everything that is currently going on in Nigeria right now?
Marriage is not a destination.
Oh, let's say shout out to our beautiful, beautiful sister. I know this is coming to you as we know that you lost your mother. We are with you. Eledumare is with you, and that is to Sister Gbemileke here in London. The mother died in London, just as many people have died, but she's a one woman that loves her people. It's unfortunate that I promised that I will see the mother, but right now, that is not going to happen. But be rest assured that we are with you. We love you so much, Sister Gbemileke. And on behalf of the Starr Radio UK, this is especially for you.
This is Starr Radio UK.
And we hope the family are doing very well. It's good to see you back on the broadcast. Suraju, good evening to you. Additional say, why did Tinubu lie to Nigerians that it will fix Nigeria's dead economy when we come out advising Nigerians on the way out? They are political liars, block people's eyes. Now he's speaking out. We're going to come to Buhari, and I might get a call to Bishop Adesina to come and give us a bit of analysis in 10 minutes. Queen Africa. You are my beautiful queen. You are my African queen. Thank you so much, those of you that have joined us. My name again is Olami Koiki. The president who was represented by the Minister of Information, another Muhammad Idris, not like Muhammad. The president was represented at Akwa Ibom at what they called Stimulating Economic Growth, Technological Advancement, the Role of the Media. Today, by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris saluted the Guild of Editors for his choice of the theme of this year's conference. Do you think that President Bola Tinubu, I know some of you say, Mr. Koiki, just slow down. The president is not even in office in 1 year. Things will change around. The economy is going to bounce back. Security will be dealt with. Is that what you believe in? Do you think as well that it is too early to hold President Bola Tinubu accountable? Because as we speak right now, the NLC is holding President Bola Tinubu under what they call the workers' right. The Nigerian Labour Union have begun an indefinite strike to protest the beating of the Nigerian Labour Congress President Joe Ajaero on November 1st. The Labour leader was to lead workers in a protest over unpaid salaries. How many of you are aware of someone that is currently working in Nigeria that is not paid yet? Mrs. Margaret Edo, good evening to you and welcome to those of you that have joined us. Once again, we love you, Mrs. Gbemileke, and we are with you in spirit and mind. Police have denied beating the NLC president, saying that it is the thug. We can beat you. But Ribadu, the National Security Advisor, that also told us that Buhari bankrupted Nigeria. Say Buhari, say Baba.
Journey that entails patience, endurance, mutual respect, forgiveness, and a number of other things to get one to the desired destination. But a marriage can be funny at times when it turns to other side, like great sadness, worry, a high level of tension, anxiety, and depression. But do not panic. Enough is enough on domestic.
Yeah, bear with us, Mrs. Comfort Ologunja. Yes, there is some background noise sounding in Nigeria generator on Starr Radio. My engineer will have to work on this sound. We're so sorry about that. You can move around. There's another platform. Maybe you might want to switch to that. Maybe the sound will be a little bit better. I did spoke to Mr. Ashi on that, and Frank and the sound engineer will have to work on this. There's a sound coming out on the Starr Radio UK platform. Maybe you might want to go into the second sister platform. Maybe that'll be a little bit better, but it's not the generator. I don't have generator here, Mrs. Ologunja, Comfort, a beautiful mother, a grandmother, she says that there's some sound coming out. I hope Archie, my producer, you're listening. There's a lot of complaint about this sound coming out at the background on the Starr Radio UK. We hope that will be resolved as quickly as possible. But I can't see any generator, or maybe Archie is using generator. Archie, I hope you're not using any generator at the bottom. Most of us in diaspora understood the game. We certainly expected it was going to be messy. Wow. Mrs. Margaret said we knew that it was going to be messy. Wow. Let's complete this. Let us not allow violence in marriage. And this book was put together by Mrs. Margaret. Let's listen to it one more time.
Marriage is not a destination, but it's a journey that entails patience, endurance, mutual respect, forgiveness, and a number of other things to get one to the desired destination. But a marriage can be funny at times when it turns to other side, like great sadness, worry, a high level of tension, anxiety, and depression. But do not panic. Enough is enough on domestic violence is the solution. I recommend a book for you, Enough is Enough on Domestic Violence by Reverend Mrs. Margaret Olawaye Nefaturoti. For free shipping, the book is available on Amazon.com. For more info, log on to www.widowsadvocate.org or email widowla55@gmail.com. Enough is Enough on Domestic Violence, a solution book to all marriage problems. Get your copy.
Get your copy if you can. And once again, I would like to say good evening to as many of you. We are discussing the current plight of situation. Professor Adebanji Akitoye spoke to me some few hours while I was still at home. The old man is very, very concerned. The level of poverty as we speak right now in Nigeria is very high. Our people can no longer have 3 square meals. And we are all concerned, and he's very concerned. Once again, Mrs. Margaret says, we, especially most of us in diaspora, understood the game. Let me show you the Naira. It seems that many Nigerians are struggling to get the Naira out of the bank. From what we are hearing, I hope, Cardoso, the central bank, will do something about that. This is the Nigerian currency. And as we speak to you today, the Naira to the pound, to the dollar is about 1,050 Naira to $1, and it's about almost 1,300 Naira to the pound. I don't know what it is in euro and Canadian dollar as well. We're very concerned. We hope that the new CBN governor will do everything possibly best. Welcome to you, Mr. Moshood Bakari. And once again, Mrs. Margaret is sending a condolence message to you. Mrs. Bimileke says, may the soul of one of our departed mother rest in peace. And many Nigerians that are facing very, very difficult time, but we are begging you, please do not commit suicide. We beg you. Whatever you are going through right now, it is just going to be temporarily. I know things are very difficult in Nigeria. Many Nigerians are struggling. I saw another post where the young man committed suicide in Abuja hotel because he couldn't pay back some loan that he took. We beg you, please do not think of such. As we're just about 4 minutes before 1900 hours, Nigeria, you are 1 hour ahead of us in Europe, especially in UK. Germany is also 1 hour ahead of UK. The time right here in UK where I'm transmitting from on the...
This is Starr Radio UK.
And I'm going to be giving you the quote of the day. Winning teams are made up of team players. If we want to win the Yoruba nation, we must be team players. We don't want people that will tell you, oh, we have declared Yoruba nation, and they think that they can be a team player. That is no longer a team player. Team players respect their coach. You must respect Professor Banji Akintoye at exactly 7:30. I will tell you everything you need to know when it comes to the right of the Yoruba people, the indigenous people. But for now, winning teams are made up of team players. If you want the best team, you must also listen to the coach and the teammates, and they realize that all are needed. Team players respect their coach and teammates. Most people do not respect each other, and that is also what has led to where Nigeria is today. Shout out to those of you that are watching us. I already know to say no matter how much zeros you add to the Naira, don't make no difference. It is still fiat currency. So the Naira is losing value every day. But the President Bola Tinubu is giving assurance that even though the former President Muhammadu Buhari bankrupted Nigeria, he is still going to fix Nigeria. Do you agree with that? Like I said, there is a lot happening, and maybe we should have Bishop Adesina to come and speak to us just for less than 10 minutes on what we can tell you on why this government is now pointing finger to Buhari. Are they taking the blame? Mrs. Wole Ola Oni, shout out to you. To Walata, good evening to you. To Kunle Bakers and the rest of you that are watching us across different platforms. I think I should speak to Bishop. Let's see if we can get Bishop on the line. Let's see if we can get Bishop on the line to speak to us. The NSA is telling us that President Muhammadu Buhari bankrupted Nigeria. Good evening to you, Bishop Adesina, and welcome to the Starr Radio UK network this evening.
Good evening.
Let's go straight to it because we haven't got time.
Good evening, Koiki.
What happened to Buhari government? Why are we getting the new administration of Bola Tinubu now pointing finger back to President Muhammadu Buhari that bankrupted Nigeria? What do you think? What can you share with us?
All right. Thank you very much for the privilege given to me. Now, Yoruba always say an adage. One irọ́ tó bá lọ lógún ọdún, ọjọ́ kan lòtítọ́ máa bá. A lie can travel 20 years or 100 years, but a step of movement, a truth catch up with it. Now, when he came up, before he got to office, all this analysis of Nigerian economy has been discussed with him. Baba Akintoye specifically called him and told him the state of Nigerian economy and that he cannot do anything. Okay, then he stopped picking his call or take his advice. Then they start try to stand or try to confront Yoruba nation agitation. Now, we step back and start watching. Now, I will not blame this man too much. What is it, that the Mr. President? Are you getting me? I won't blame him too much. Do you know the people I will blame? Are you hearing me now?
Loud and clear. We can hear you loud and clear.
Now, I will blame the so-called Yoruba people that say they believe in Yoruba nation self-determination, that all of a sudden turn back and give this man support. And we're boldly speaking on the TV and everywhere, saying that Yoruba should give him a chance. So Mawani, he will do it. Then we should give him a chance. These people are the one to be blamed. Then more people won't carry war now. More people won't bury Ori won't see. Because Lori Brukuni, most of them. I will not. I'm sorry for using that statement.
Let's not use that, please.
Yeah, sorry for using that statement. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Because people now, where all of them hide and bury their head now, I don't know. Why can't they speak up now?
Okay, you've not really touched on. You've not touched on.
No, I'm going to your question.
Okay.
Your question is so deep.
Okay.
I'm going to it. Because presidency is not, Aso Rock is not Lagos State. Aso Rock is not a secretariat of God. You are director of conglomerate of it. It's like conglomerate of directors of companies. Those ministries, they control companies or organization of companies. So when you are talking about president seat, you are talking about Kakos Kabal. You are talking about what can he do? What can he do to change the Nigerian economic that has been buried under Buhari, that the entire Nigerian foreign reserve has been emptied. As I'm talking with you now, Nigerian foreign reserve is emptied. It's empty. Only national economic leaders will be able to relate that, will be able to relate that with it. That's the reason Emefiele immediately used his intelligence to fix international trade price. He took Naira away from floating market, that is exchange, export and import window, and just fix it on international floating price 450. And now give local price 750.
I want you to explain
the different exchange. Yeah.
Could you explain that? Because when Tinubu came in, he actually allowed the market to become, free. You are explaining something that the windows. Many Nigerians doesn't understand this particular area. I want you to really, give us a bit of background to it, because what you're saying is the former CBN governor pegged Nigeria dollar to 450, but that was a big lie.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But what he did is professional. Let me tell you this. Now, every currency of nations has the national resources backing it or strengthening it. Naira is strengthening or backed by our crude oil. But the crude oil that Nigeria is supposed to use to trade to strengthen Naira has been mortgaged. It has been mortgaged. Foreigners are dipping our crude oil freely and selling it back to us. So Nigeria is not producing oil. Nigeria is just extracting oil. It's not producing. Because you are not producing it for yourself. It's like you have something and that thing did not belong to you. Because you have used it to borrow money. Look at the money they borrowed during the Bola Tinubu. Look at the money they borrowed. The bank that that borrowed them that money, said that you'll be taking Nigeria crude oil for 4 years. And they borrowed them that money. Imagine that bank now has been taking crude oil freely. Now, what Emefiele did, he studied and realized the problem of Nigeria, and realized because he can see, he's an insider. He knew the problem of what is happening inside. He knew that the Naira is finished, the economy is finished. But at the same time, his intelligence look at if we can survive or maintain it pending our own period. So the only thing to do to stabilize the Naira, don't put it on the market. When we say export and import window, we are talking about, it's like, let me say it in Yoruba, it's like to place a product on a public market. Now, like that, dollar is a public market, pound is a public market, euro is a public market. Gbogbo àwọn owó yẹn ni wọ́n ní resources ìlú wọn tó ń back currency yẹn tó lè fún lágbára. If they are trading and they short, they can use their resources to quickly back it and strengthen it back. So
if I hear you clearly, Bishop, what you're saying is that, initially this currency, our Naira, is meant to be backed with the crude oil that we have. But we don't have that crude oil anymore because the crude oil has been used for whatever bargaining chip.
As a mortgage.
As a mortgage. Wow.
Yes. So Emefiele now use his intelligence to say, okay, we can deposit in international foreign reserve up to certain amount of national trade. Somebody that has been in an office, you would have known the total amount that goes out from the office in a month, total amount that comes into the office in a month. So exchange trade like that. So he has been able to put a certain amount in foreign reserve or exchange reserve up to that average amount, so that when there is trade, there will be always money to be taken in the foreign reserve. So the next month they would have returned back there. So that amount of money was able to value Naira to 450 in international market.
Okay.
But they now put local market to be 750, so that the exchange inside, there will be excess. That excess that is on top of that 750 was to strengthen the Naira. To strengthen the Naira, to that excess is supposed to be keeping it back in the foreign reserve. So I'm a pile up, see, foreign reserve. So one need that yawo. But do you know what they did? I think, not that I think, they told them to be using that excess to be funding the office of the First Lady, which is not constitutional. Because they cannot spend money from the federation account to sponsor
which of the First Lady?
It's not constitutional.
Which of the First Lady are we talking now? Is it the previous Aisha Buhari or the current, President?
Both Aisha Buhari and the present government. Yes, okay. That is where they are raising the fund from the excess on Naira and from stamp duty.
Okay.
2.5% from every inflow. So that money was going to CBN and is supposed to be used to strengthen Naira. So they see it as an opportunity of revenue to spend. So everything they just know in the federation, this is just to spend and spend.
So like somebody said that, so we are actually borrowing. So we are borrowing for consumption. Was that what Nigeria was doing? Borrowing for consumption only?
Borrowing and borrowing. Now, and when he himself saw that was what the money is being used for, he to make a opportunity in looting too. So kò sẹ́ni tí wọ́n máa gbé gan ṣe tó ní sọ̀pà kọ́nù. So òun náà jẹ ti ẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ kò So those are the dilemma of his own tenure, and the mistake towards the end of his tenure, the mistake they make him to do during January, February, March, that he want to change currency, and he punished Nigeria because of that. And they use that to mop in naira to cover all their loot. They mopping Nigeria naira and to cover all their loot. Those are tactics of economy to cover. I can't office meet account. Follow me. So that do my body jack so take one step
let's come back again a little bit. Once again, if you've just joined us, this is
for their loot.
Well, Tinubu says, I inherited serious liability from the former President Muhammadu Buhari, and I'm quoting from the New Telegraph. President Bola Tinubu has declared that his administration inherited serious liability from the former President Muhammadu Buhari. President Tinubu, who spoke in Mecca, Saudi Arabia, also affirmed he inherited asset from the previous government. The question is, what is going to happen to Buhari now? Should we allow Buhari to continue to live in Daura without being disturbed? Because Buhari said, if you disturb me, I'll be going to Niger. But we don't have any relationship with Niger right now because the borders is locked, so Buhari cannot get to Niger. What is going to happen, Bishop?
Okay. Koiki, you are speaking as if Nigeria is UK. It is not in our hand. It is not in our hand. We should allow Buhari or not to should allow Buhari. It is not in our hand. All power, according to the 1999 Constitution, is bestowed on Tinubu. So Tinubu is the one that. Why is he telling us that he was handed over a bankrupt economy? Why the person who bankrupt the economy is right before his sight. He can pick him up. Why can't he pick him up? Why is he telling us that?
Well, maybe the president is telling Nigerians.
He's using all of that to gain sympathy, because fire is now burning Nisale now. Fire is now burning at home now.
Okay, I'm coming back.
The NLC are not joking.
The
NLC are not joking.
For the past 3 days
now, they're blackout.
I'm going to come back to you in just about a few minutes. Once again, if you've just joined us, this is
Starr
all right.
Good evening to you, Bishop Sam, Amy, JP, and the President Bola Tinubu went further to say, according to him, the revenue generated by the present administration is being used to repay what was taken from the country. So, Bishop Adesina, what was really taken from Nigeria? How much was taken out of Nigeria?
Now,
are we talking here?
So now, it is true that during Buhari, there are a lot of loans that were taken. But during Tinubu, within these 6 months, there are a lot of loans that were taken. They just demand for 13 trillion naira loan. And out of this money, he has spent to buy SUV Jeep for judiciary, renovating houses. Somebody that went to borrow money, you use almost half of the money to buy a vehicle for your colleagues in government, living a luxury life, and you demand for yacht. Later they said that it is not for president, it's for military. But is military require yacht? When there is a warship needed, you say you are buying yacht for Navy. I mean, this is misplaced of priority, and you borrow the money. Why are you blaming Buhari, who has mortgaged everything down for you to pay? And we said at that time that as he's entering office, he's paying loans, because from June there are loans that is scheduled to be paid. So he paid that loan in July, and that's why they have to remove subsidy immediately. Immediately, at least when he said he removed subsidy, that I see a month ahead, he had to remove it immediately, because he cannot. He knew about all this thing before he take the responsibility of the government. So, and what he promised Nigerians is that he will do it. He will build the economy. Why is it crying out now? Why is it crying out
Bishop,
now?
the layman is now like, the layman, the average Nigerian on the street of, Kaduna, in Enugu, in Akwa Ibom, they are concerned, they are worried. Once again, thank you so much, Mrs. Abosede Rachel say, oh, now story tell moonlighting because, it seems that Tinubu doesn't have anything to offer. Whereas, to say when ASU strike went back, they settled for half salary. Once again, we're still loving you, Mrs. Bemileke on the Starr Radio UK. Shout out to Mrs. Comfort Ologunja. And also, I saw something from another, our brother here, our uncle. Mrs. Margaret said, Tinubu and all Nigerian politicians know clearly that the central bank has been empty for the longest time. Is she right?
Yes. Absolutely correct. They just paid, Central Bank of Nigeria just paid some loan last month. It's not, this one is not Federation loan, no. Central Bank pay debt.
So,
it's like
so why,
you transact with another
why is President
money
Bola
that
Tinubu,
have been paid?
why is President Bola Tinubu's government blaming the previous administration? Because according to another Bishop, Sam Amy, JP says, Tinubu is APC, Buhari is APC, they are both same. Mr. Ogbara said they are all players.
Yes. And that is why I said that he just saying that for sympathy. He has Buhari in his hand. If he wants to reach out to Buhari, he has Buhari in his hand. He's in charge of the DSS. He's in charge of the EFCC. He's in charge. The Constitution gives him all that power. So if it is true that he inherited a bankrupt economy and he can no longer maneuver or do the magic that he has promised he's going to do the magic.
So Bishop,
why can't he pick up the Buhari?
Bishop,
why is he not telling Nigerians?
What can the new administration put in place quickly? Because we're talking about lives of people right now. You are on the ground. I don't know whether you want to give us, the situation in the last 48 hours of the strike. How it has affected you and the community. I'm going to like to know a little bit more. But many of our listeners, that are watching me right now say, Starr Radio UK. Can you please ask Bishop, what can this government do quickly to revive the Nigerian economy and put food on the table? We're talking about the security, the welfare, and we are now talking about the NLC. Bishop, go ahead again. Once again, Mrs. Comfort Ologunja says, Tinubu knows the game fully and is aware about his inheritance from Buhari. Go ahead, Bishop.
Koiki, your question is, I would say it's a rhetoric question. What the government, number one, they can't even do it. They can't. Because, number one is, the same Buhari should be invited. Number two is, all the looted funds and the people that loot Nigerian economy, all these people should be invited. And I think Obasanjo did it during his time. He didn't actually call it that way. He asked them to donate for Nigeria to survive. And all of them that have looted Nigeria return some part of money freely for him to have fund to run his government. Tinubu need fund. Then he should stop borrowing. He should stop borrowing. Then number two is that he has a lot of people around him. He should have a sincere meeting with them. For example, that money coming out from Naira currency is enough to survive even Nigeria without crude oil.
Well, that's
2.5% over every inflow.
Someone just asked the same thing. Why only the oil? What happened to our gold, our lithium?
So, all those money coming into Nigeria, that's supposed to go to Nigerian ports, that has been diverted in the ministry. Ministry is embodiment of corruption in Nigeria. Nigerian ministry is the embodiment of corruption. And for him to think that he can fight that, my God, he will finish 4 years. He will not finish 4 years, I'm telling you. So that's the reason they've looked at all these things. They've looked at Nigeria. They've given Nigeria a lot of second chance, and they've said, oh no, Tinubu, don't go for this thing. Let us dialogue and separate. Nigeria cannot work. But he said he want to go and try his luck. He want to do magic. Now he's realizing there is no magic he can do. Nigeria will rubbish you. Because the people that are working in the ministry, you cannot run Nigeria alone. And so all those ministries, people are there. And the funny thing is that these people, they are collecting. So, okay, for example, look at the cost. People can't go to school again now. So people are dropped. That's why ASU joined the strike. Because they can't pay school fee again. They increase school fee from like somebody that is paying 24,000 naira. The school fee was jumped up by 10%. Like now, from 24,000 naira to 240,000 naira.
I saw a young guy complaining. He was complaining bitterly about the price of his asthmatic drugs that he's using. He's actually crying. He says the price of those drugs. It was in the pharmacy. He was showing us the images. Bishop, you are on the ground. 48 hours into the indefinite strike. I know there's a lot of things I want to ask you, so just bear with me because many of the diaspora are concerned. We have our loved ones at home. We have been sending money home. It's not becoming enough because the price of food has gone up.
It can never be enough. It's not even food now. Everything is inconveniencing people.
Wow.
Everything, all the transportation, everything, light, everything. They are average, not average. Most, even the rich are complaining.
The rich
are complaining because right here now, I'm in darkness in my house. Yeah, I'm in darkness. There is no light.
Is that because
I can't keep on buying fuel that is almost 1,000 naira per liter. How many liters did I want to buy every day? Right now, I'm using power bank to power my phone because the phone is dead since afternoon. That is a country you want to fix.
Wow.
So I say I'm not even blaming Tinubu. I'm blaming the so-called people that say they are moving with self-determination. And we're now saying, let us support Tinubu Omowani, like Olule Baragba. Does the Constitution even guarantee that as the president of Nigeria, he will do that for you? Why are Yoruba people so gullible? Why? And now all of them are keeping quiet now. Now they are keeping quiet. Why can't they come out now? Why can't they come out?
Interesting.
Where are they now? Where are those groups? Where are those groups they are forming? And say they are Yoruba Nation Social Group. And Sinubula of the Omowari. Where are they now? All of them are regretting. Look at that woman at Italeko crying and cursing Tinubu, saying they vote for him, that they can't even sell fish again. The fish of 15,000 per pack is now 45,000. Common Benin Republic here, 1,000 naira. They told me 1,000 naira is now 460 sefa. 1,000 naira. So if you come out from Benin now with 10,000
but Bishop,
they will give you almost 30,000 naira.
Before I let you go, Bishop, but the president have just traveled to Saudi Arabia. He has been giving assurance of investors coming into the country. Billions of dollars will be coming with him as well. I don't know how much. Well, you're laughing, Bishop.
Koiki.
Yes.
Koiki. Yeah. they can fool Nigerians that they always fool. But somebody like me and you, they can't fool us. The same Saudi Arabia that knew that Tinubu is right there in their country, and they deport 275 Nigerians arriving without disrespecting Nigerian president that he was there. They deport them back.
Well,
So
I was going to talk about that. What do you think actually, went wrong? The president hasn't even left Saudi Arabia when almost, half a dozen of the flight was returned back. Visa cancelled.
I told you this thing last year, around September, October last year. I told you. I said from this year, and it to be very obvious next year, 2024, I said nations around the world will begin to deport Nigerians. Germany deported Nigerians. Saudi Arabia has deported. Now, UK is talking about sending Nigeria to, is it Uganda? Where did they want to go and put them? I want you to tell Nigeria. They thought that Nigeria want to Padawa. So
Bishop,
Canada will do so. Canada is planning that.
Let's talk about
US will do it.
Let's talk about the
Nigerians because they know you people have money and you are crook.
All right, let's talk about the Ruba. How much is the Ruba today to the Naira?
It's 16,000 Naira to 1 Ruba.
As at 6 months ago, how much was the difference?
As at 6 months ago, you just 10,000 Naira to 1 Ruba. So 6,000
For the benefit of our listener that doesn't understand Ruba,
has come over it.
In 5 minutes, I'm going to give you another 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, I know we are trying to, to protect our loved ones, especially as we're going into the self-determination conversation right now at exactly 7:30. Once again, if you've just joined us, this is
Starr Radio UK.
Okay.
Starr Radio UK.
Well, in 5 minutes, I want you to explain once again, what is the Ruba? What does it mean? Is it a digital currency? Is it a hard currency that you have, you can feel? Is it a wallet? What is Ruba? What is Ruba, Bishop Adeshino?
Thank you very much. Yeah, Ruba is a proposed Yoruba nation currency. It's already functioning as a cryptocurrency. It's not a fiat currency yet because we have no country of our own yet. So you cannot spend the Ruba as a fiat paper currency. But we have a plan of spending voucher. So in future, in short months from now, some organizations of community have started demanding to spend a voucher. We have the right to spend a voucher. So you will see if the Ruba voucher, not currency. But when we become a country, if we assess that is what we want to spend, the money will be published as a currency, and that's a fiat currency. But presently, it's functioning as a cryptocurrency, and it goes for $12 to 1 Ruba. And some people may say, like the way they always ask, how did we come about the value? We come about, if you know economics, you don't have problem with that question. We came about the value by the amount of exchange reserve that we deposit in our blockchain company that gave us the network. So that's how they are able to value for that exchange for us. Now, when you are buying with cryptocurrency, a Ruba with any crypto, you have your USDT, that means your digital dollar. It takes $13 from you and converts to Ruba. But when you are taking it out, it gives you $12. So there is $1 charges on it. There is $1 charge for one Ruba on it. So the network charge that. And the Ruba, it's for savings. It's not trading. That's a mistake of some people who thought that we are foolish or fish brain like them. It's not for trading. If you want to trade, go and trade in your crypto wallets or whatever. The three basic reasons why Baba Akintoye ordered this money functioning: to save the money of our people at home, because Nigeria will go down. so that our financial asset will not go down with Nigeria. When your money is in Ruba, it's safe. If you are in Benin Republic, UK, or anywhere you now relocate to, you can convert Ruba to the fiat currency of that country and live your life. Your money is rescued.
If I get you right, before you go into the second, if I get you right, what you're saying is that, this is not like a trading platform, Ruba. It's not like you are trading on the stock market.
No, it's not a trading platform. Yeah.
So it is just literally to save you from losing the value of what the naira is becoming.
Your money and the savings from losing and from devaluation of naira.
Because
so
I remember
from losing your money and devaluation of naira.
I remember about if I'm right, about 2 or 3 months ago on the Starr Radio UK Morning Show, we were reading from the one of the mainstream newspaper in Nigeria. I think it was a Punch newspaper, where the Nigerian student in UK are losing value of their currency from Nigeria naira converted back to UK,
from Nigeria
between certain period of time. I can't remember, the exact amount of what they were losing, but they were actually losing heavily. So what you're saying is that the Ruba is not there just to be trading on the stock market. It's literally to save and protect your own hard currency that you have in the naira.
Yeah, against devaluation of naira and the loss of your fund. Because if those guys now that are complaining about devaluation of their money, that they're supposed to pay their school fee, if they have their money in Ruba, as naira is devaluing to dollar in 1%, it is times 12 to Ruba. When your naira devalue to dollar 1%, it is times 12. Naira is devaluing to Ruba times 12 because it is $12 in 1 Ruba. So your money will remain refreshed. Like I gave an example of somebody that immediately we finished the network, somebody used 400,000 naira and convert to a Ruba account. He has his Ruba. Now, just last month, he wanted to change his apartment. He withdrew almost 600,000 from what he used 400,000 to deposit. He withdrew almost 600,000 to go and spend because naira as at that time was 750. But as at now, naira is 1,200. You can see the difference.
Someone just asked.
So as naira is devaluing, but if he has left his 400 in Nigerian bank account,
he would have lost
he will not be able to withdraw. He will not even be able to withdraw up to 400.
Okay, the withdrawal now. Someone just asked, how do we access the money? By the time we move it into Ruba, how do we? I know it's easy to move things, but how do we get it back out? Hope it doesn't get stuck in there. And that is somebody asking the question.
No. It's so simple. If you use crypto to pay in, if you understand crypto, you can use crypto to transfer, to pay out. But if you use fiat to pay in, like using our P2P service, you have to call our customer care number, then you pay in your fiat currency into our given P2P service account. We will convert that to Ruba for you. If you want to collect out, you do the same. You call us, then your Ruba account will be withdrawn, and the equivalent Ruba value will be converted to the currency you want, either naira, sefa, pounds, this country, Gambia money, Dubai money, and Libya money. We are partners there. So those are the areas where Ruba can change to the currency of those. We paid somebody pounds yesterday. He sent the Ruba to his sister in UK, and the sister have Ruba account. The sister receive it, and the sister call our customer care that I want to convert also to pounds. Then we say yes. So we convert the Ruba about 20.75 Ruba. We convert it to the pounds. I send his pounds account about 200 pounds sterling. Enter his pounds account. And she collected it immediately. We don't do our service till tomorrow. Within 3 to 5 minutes, you will respond to you. So that's it. Our P2P service is very fast. Then if you know about cryptocurrency, oh, fine, you do it yourself. You don't even need to call us. Because cryptocurrency is easy. You send it in, you convert it yourself. You want to send out, you convert Ruba to USDT, you send out to any other wallet. That's just it. But if you need to convert from crypto to fiat, you have to call our customer care, and we do that for you within 3 to 5 minutes. So as you pay in, you can collect out also, and you can pay yourself in Ruba also. So that's what we do. So the second, as I was saying, the second reason why Baba give the order to help move the fund of our people in diaspora, because we said it that the Western world has a plan that is basically when you are in diaspora. So, and that is no more hidden. It's now showing. And the third reason is to test run Yoruba nation economy through the traffic of people using transacting the Ruba. So that is needed for our leaders' diplomatic analysis when they are talking in the international organization, so they can have some statistics to talk concerning our economy. So that's just it. So so there's no.
And the last question is before I let you go, one more. The self-determination. Where are we right now? Many Yoruba people are asking, where is the self-determination of the Yoruba nation? Where are we right now in terms of the movement?
And my own question to them is that where are they? Where are they too? Because if you are part of something, you should know where you are. You saw Yoruba nation currency. You saw Yoruba radio and TV. Yoruba radio is now out. Every Thursday is functioning every day now, but every Saturday by 8 in the evening, Baba will talk, or there is an interview that talk. So there is Yoruba Nation radio working. You can go to the app, download, and the radio itself, transistor radio, is now available. No, it's not sufficient. They are thinking of they are planning to produce more, so that anywhere in the world you are, transmission is covered because it's a short wave, and it's clear like FM, but it's a short wave radio. So you are asking where are we? People are really working we are not running a socialist government. This is a mixed economy. Private investors are coming into Yoruba nation investing. So you saying that they are doing business, stay there. You don't do business and be crying. Nigeria is empowering private individuals to do business, and they are collecting taxes. That is why they have strength and power. That's why they are country. Yoruba nation, we have strength and power when there are private individual or private businesses giving their allegiance and taxes to Yoruba nation. That's what makes a nation. So you people need to wake up. And Yoruba nation did not have resources yet. Go to Japan. Japan did not have one single shako in their sand as a resources. Only what they have is water, sea water that surround them. But look at Japanese yen to naira. Look at they develop their people, their mindset, the youth, the education of their people. That now they are doing a lot of things, technology-wise, and all that.
Thank you so much, Bishop.
So it is private. So Yoruba nation, where we are now, is private investment drive. If you have something good you want to do for your people, and you think it's going to be worthwhile, let Baba Kitoye know.
All right.
And he will give you the blessing and people to guide you.
All right.
If it requires MOU will come in, and you can do it for your people.
Thank you so much, Bishop.
I think that's where we thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, we've been speaking to Bishop for the last 40 minutes. Good evening, Grandma Adebimpe. Somebody was asking if Ruba was our currency. It's just a proposed currency. It's not the Yoruba currency as we speak right now. Let's come back now again into the program. We are now on the self-determination, where we discuss everything on the Yoruba Nation movement.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Tó bá jẹ́ pé lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ yín lẹ bá ṣe ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. mo sọ pé.
All around the world.
The best radio show.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
For those that are listening to us on the Starr Radio UK network, there's a bit of sound coming at the background. The engineer are working on that. We're going to try and rectify that as quickly as possible by next week, God's willing as well. Shout out to my beautiful mother. Shout out to those of you in UK. And maybe we should listen to this, and I'm going to come back again. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about what you need to know when it comes to the self-determination. But one thing is,
When
there
we
is
speak
hunger in the land. Let's listen to this again.
the Danidas and the NGOs, these are bodies whose raison d'etre is to ensure that we remain in a perpetual state of begging. That is what we are doing to warn ourselves. And we are not for 1 minute saying that we will shut ourselves out from the rest of the world. What we are saying is that we must define how we engage with the whole world. And we are saying that as individual countries, we are weak, and the rest of the world wants to operate and to deal with us in our weak state.
Well, that is, Professor Lumumba. I'm sure many of you know him very well. As many people are crying out, this interview was granted by one of our media team back in Ojodon area.
Ṣé àwọn ìjọba wa ti ṣetán láti dáàbò bo àwọn àgbẹ̀ tí wọ́n ní pé kán padà sínú oko? Torí wọ́n bá ní kíyàn padà sínú inú ilé kan, ṣé inú ilé yẹn ṣe é sùn fún?
Ruba is not spelled as A-R-U-B-A, it's spelled as Ruba, R-U-B-A. Once again, if you want to check that out on Google, what you need to do, like I said, is a proposed currency that is being used between the Yorubas right now. You go on Google and you type in, the Ruba. It's going to take you through, and I'm sure we'll be giving you the link of the website before the end of the program. Once again, we are now on the section of the Yoruba self-determination, and this is a sponsored program by Ilana Omodua. Intengbo was an interview that was granted just about some few hours ago, somewhere in Yoruba land in Ogun State, where, remember, Benga Daniel says Nigerians should go back to farm. The question is, in Jawan, farmers are being protected before we say we should go back to farm. Let's listen one more time.
Àná táwọn ẹnìkan náà fi tún òní táwọn ń lò ṣe.
Èmi tí wọn náà fi ń ba ọjọ́ ọ̀la àwọn kan jẹ́ báyìí. Ọ̀nà sì ti jìn. Yorùbá bọ̀ wọn lórí burúkú wọn rẹ̀ ẹni máa wí fún ló ń wá.
Okay, olórí burúkú wọn ra ẹni tó máa sọ fún ló ń wá.
Àwọn adarí wa wọ́n ti kùnà.
Koikimedia bringing the world closer to other steps.
Once again, a very good evening. Sorry about that, Eunice. I wanted to pin your message. It seems that I mistakenly, deleted it. Thank you so much for joining us, Eunice Uchichi. Welcome to the program. I was just about to pin that, but it seems, I'm not too sure. I must have mistakenly clicked on the delete. I think I could still get it back. I'm not too sure if that can come back. If not, can you help us to repost that again? The audio is not clear. Yes, it's a very poor audio, but you can watch that on the sister broadcast as well. We'll probably say you should go and watch it there. Let's now listen to a message that came from Dr. Chief Sunday Gbowo on Monday, where again the Yoruba radio is currently working. Shout out to you as well. Eunice said, I laughed my heart when you were talking about Benga Daniel. you know, I was in a different spirit there, Eunice. Bring that down now. Voice is not clear. I've already removed that video. For those of you that entirety were aware, there's what I called. If you remember, this is what the image is going to look like. It's going to have the Oriolokun, the Yoruba Nation Radio TV. Remember that we started this as well, and then some people wanted to, to pull it down. Just like, the Ruba is now like a test. Some people are trying to pull it down, but we are not going to allow that. I won't. Igba. Regardless of whatever you want to say, the Ruba will continue to operate. If you have another currency that you think that you can propose as well, bring it out. We're going to use that to challenge. And things are even going to be digital. I think the 23 European countries, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I've already picked up the story that they will no longer be giving you a visa where they stamp it on your passport. It's going to be digital. So everything is going digital. So if the Ruba, as they say, is not fiat means owo to mudani buy. So it is through the currency that is digital. So, and everything is digital today. So, but for now, we don't it's in the Yoruba Nation country. It is a propose, it is a quest, which is our right. So Tabat in the Yoruba country, we will have our central bank that will be able to work with it. So one thing is, many people do not want to do something, but you want to pull out the other. We're not going to accept that. We also have a proposed constitution. You go on my website, you will find it there. It was put together by the Yoruba Strategic Alliance. This was in 2020, even before that 419 woman came. You're right, Shemolaoye. Yoruba Nation is the only way. So, as many of you, we wanted to ask questions. I think berry, but the thing is, some of you just want to pull down the effort of many of us. Babakitoye pe mi láàárọ̀, and he was concerned. He was very, very concerned about the level of poverty tó wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá lẹ́ni nísìn. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Let's go back. Yoruba Nation Shortwave Radio is a broadcasting live every Saturday and Sunday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. But Monday to Sunday, 24 hours, it is live when you download it from the app store. But many of you have not done the download. While some of you have got Bet Niger and all these as well. Olawoye, not Olawoye. Okay, Olawoye. Thank you so much, my brother. Olawoye. Benny, ìyá mi Comfort Ologunja. Ẹ fẹ́ pull nǹkan down. They find another one. And many people are also asking. I've been getting a lot of messages. Iṣẹ́ wo ni YSDM ń ṣe nísìn? It seems that they've gone quiet. I said no. Maybe we might have to bring Yeyedara, the publicity secretary, to come and speak to us at some point, so that she can give us highlight of what the YSDM are preparing. Can YSDM prepare? And if you don't know what the YSDM stand for, it is the Yoruba Self-Determination Movement. Eshegoni Babawa Sheun Ola Owoye. So, in that invasion, if pull effort and come down, and that is not good. Teba fún another option to work with, that is okay. But fún another option, but if pull come down, I don't understand. So, and that is why we are saying that the same way that if pull already down, but today now we are grateful that some people paid to finish up the job of the radio. But what should that service say? Every month or quarterly, I don't know what the deal was. They still have to be paying. Many of you are asking that Kilodetiko Silori FM transmitter. We don't have a transmitter in Nigeria. With an FM, you need an antenna. And I'm sure you all know what is going to happen. If you put antenna anywhere in Nigeria, they will find it and they will pull it down. That is why it's coming through the shortwave. So what they are doing now is, once share radio conde because the radio will have the frequency. You can charge it through the solar. You can also still use your FM, and you can still use it for other things as well. But you will have it there. Otomani SD card. It's just the beginning. Then about to feel pé ẹ lè ṣe FM transmitter. Ẹ lọ ṣe. I'm sure we have a lot of engineers to Jomo Yoruba, but don't sit back and pull the effort of others, especially Professor Adebanji Akintoye. And that is why the quote for today says that winning teams are made up of team players. Team players respect their coach. A lot of you don't want to respect Baba Akintoye. And nítorí pé bàbá yẹn sọ pé a máa gba Yorùbá nation ní next year. Yes, a lè gbà ní next year. That is if ti gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá bá tẹ̀lé wa. Tẹ̀lé wa léṣe lọ tẹ̀lé Tinubu. And léṣe lọ tẹ̀lé Tinubu nísìn. Ó ti ní èmi ló kàn. And at the end of the day, the government, as you can see, is not favoring many of you anymore. So àwa tí a dẹ̀ ń sọ pé a fẹ́ Yorùbá nation, we must be honest with ourselves. We must not allow anything to let us lose the focus. We must remain focused on the mission of Afe Yoruba nation. That is all. Tinubu spent 4 years in UK planning to return back to Nigeria and become the governor of Lagos State. So, like I said, this is why we are saying that we must not give up on the quest to the right to self-determination. Tinubu, Nigerian government, kò kí ń ṣe Yoruba government. And this is from Enisuru. So this is coming now. This was on Monday, just 72 hours ago, from Dr. Oloye Igboho, a message to every single one of you. This is the time. Okay, some people say the voice is not coming out. Not too sure why. It should be coming out. Maybe later do Mr. Adam Olamilekon. Maybe you need to refresh your phone. Yoruba people like to put things down. They have started talking against the Yoruba radio shortwave. Yoruba should stop their bad attitude. If you have initiative about the movement, there's something that can be done. But let us first bring it out. But we are just half an hour before the end of the program. Once again, this particular section that we are talking about now is sponsored program from Ilano Omodua under the leadership of Professor Adebanji Akintoye on.
This is Starr Radio UK.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone, broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7. The best radio show. The best radio show.
all around the world. Are you ready to turn it up?
Once again, apology to those of you that are listening to us and watching us on the Starr Radio UK. There's a bit of noise coming out of the background. They're working on that. The sound engineer will get this sorted out before we come back next week, Wednesday. I need half an hour to the end of the program. This is Oloye Dr. Adeyemo Igboho, spoke from Germany. Imagine people said Igboho was deported. One word deport Oloye Igboho. The sound is skipping, please. Okay. I wish I can do anything to that. I'm not too sure why that is happening. It's definitely not from me. We're trying our best. Bear with us. One word deport Oloye Igboho. Láti Germany. Ìyá mi Sarah Oyelowo. Mo kí yín káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Mo kí yàwá Grace Olúṣòótọ́. Mo kí yàwá Òjó. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin bàbá wa. Mr. Yakubu says the sound is skipping. Bí a kẹ́ jáde kẹ́ tún wọlé padà. There's a message from Seun Kuti released about about Nigeria. Even Showore says there will be revolution. The sound is breaking. Okay. Bí a kẹ́ jáde kẹ́ tún padà wọlé. I'm not too sure why that is happening. The sound shouldn't be breaking because we're not using the software. I mean, fẹ́yìntẹ́ wo wà látòrí sister broadcast wa. Ìyá mi Wúrà Adébíyì ní over jealous they worry that guy. Wọ́n ní wọ́n deport Igboho. And I'm like, how? Where? Níbo ló ti rí? I mean, how did they get that news? Níbo ni news yẹn ti filter out? Ló ti jáde pé wọ́n deport Dr. Oloye Igboho láti Germany padà sí Nigeria or sí Benin Republic. Níbo làwọn èèyàn ti rí irú news yẹn? And that news went like wildfire. And people love fake news anyway. News yìí tẹ́ máa gbé ẹ̀jẹ̀ àwọn ìyá gbóná àtàwọn bàbá gbóná. I can confirm again, Oloye was never deported. Mo kí our Dorcas. there was no point that Chief Dr. Sunday Igboho was deported. I remember even on his way to Germany in 2021, many of you came out and said that he was detained because he had a fake passport. Why not always wait for the spokesman if you're not sure? But we had a message on Monday from the one and only, the hero of our time, Anobi Tiwa. The man that stood his ground and said, enough of the killing of our people. And that made him a target. But the same Buhari that bankrupt Nigeria, imagine to buy Buhari ti rí Igboho pa. Àtúwáṣe máa gbọ́ pé Buhari bankrupt in Nigeria. Abájọ tí kò rí 20 billion Igboho san. Ṣé mọ̀ pé federal government is still owing Igboho. And this is why we are saying to our people, let us remain a formidable force. Let's stick to the plan. But some of you don't want that. Mukiyami Ekabo Surieto. And they will now come around and know and be asking how far Yoruba nation. Ewan biwa pe nibo ni Yoruba nation de. Ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ti tẹ̀lé Tinubu lọ, èmi ló kàn. Èmi ló kàn, bàbá èmi ló kàn. Ẹ fà wá sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú self-determination. Ẹ fà wá sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú olóyè. Ẹ fà wá sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú YSDF ìlànà. Ẹ fi wá sílẹ̀. Let us continue. But Igboho said, I should pass this message to every one of us.
November 13, 2023, Monday. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yàn ọmọ Yorùbá. Oṣù yìí, oṣù ayọ̀ lọ́lọ́run á ṣe fún yín o. Ọlọ́run wọlá ìlú Jámánì tá a wà yìí. Yóò wọlá òjò tó ń rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yìí.
Sorry about that. Let's go again.
Ẹ̀rá jíjẹun, ẹ̀rá àna Ọlọ́run gbà. Yóò wọlá ọmọ mi. Ẹ káàsán gbogbo ẹ̀yàn ọmọ Yorùbá káàkiri àgbáyé. Happy New Week. Today is November 13, 2023, Monday. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yàn ọmọ Yorùbá. Oṣù yìí, oṣù ayọ̀ lọ́lọ́run á ṣe fún yín o. Ọlọ́run wọlá ìlú Jámánì tá a wà yìí. Yóò wọlá òjò tó ń rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ yìí. Ẹ̀rá jíjẹun, ẹ̀rá àna Ọlọ́run gbà. Yóò wọlá ọmọ mi tí mo dúró tì, ọmọ brọ́dà mi ni. Ẹ̀rá àna Ọlọ́run gbà. Gbogbo ibi tí ẹ̀mọ Yorùbá wá ti wà, ẹ̀mọ ọ̀rá àánú gbà. Ọlọ́run wọlá ìlú Jámánì tá a wà yìí. Ọlọ́run àṣàánú yín, ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ gan kó àdó tì mí.
Wow, ó ní ẹ kó àdúró tí òun tẹ́ fòun sílẹ̀ kó pa òun jẹ. Because that is what some of you want. But we come back, let's listen to this.
Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. Mọ̀núrò yẹ kó mọ̀ pẹ́ dá. Torí ẹni tó bá kọ̀ tí ò dúpẹ́ orí ẹgbẹ̀fà. Irú wọn ti bẹ́gi dínà orí ẹgbẹ̀je níjọ. Ìdí àti abárè tí àwọn Yorùbá UK Central ṣe parapọ̀ sàṣẹ̀rò nínú ìmọ̀ ìjìnlẹ̀ wọn. Tí wọ́n sì ya ọjọ́ kan àrà ọ̀tọ̀ sílẹ̀ fún ìdúpẹ́. Lórí ibi àti bẹ̀rẹ̀, ibi abadé àti ibi tá ń lọ láìpẹ́. Àkọ́kọ́ rú ẹ̀ tí àwọn èèkàn lókọlókọ ọmọ Yorùbá lágbàáyé yóò mọ parapọ̀ fún ǹdọ̀kan sọ wípé Olúwa ó ṣe é. Bá a sì ti mọ láǹfààní láti mọ pàdé àwọn olólùfẹ́ wa gbogbo. Láwọn tí wọ́n jó nígbọ̀wọ́ fún ètò ìdúpẹ́ yìí. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ látòrí Yorùbá UK Central Office fúnra lára wọn gan. Tí wọ́n jó ní nǹkan là ń jọ ṣe. Koikimedia tí wọ́n jágbẹnusọ fún Dr. Sunday Igboho Òòṣà. Gbẹ̀dú magazine ti ká lára rẹ̀. Dr. Sabi Talk Show. Sanfatis FM. Gbọ́ àpapọ̀ Yorùbá World Congress àti Yorùbá World Media lágbàáyé. Ọjọ́ ọpẹ́ lọ́jọ́ àbámẹ́ta lẹ́yìn tó jọjọ́ kejì oṣù kejìlá ọdún tí a wà yìí. Ní Abadasha Hacham College, Pips Road Side, Pips Road, London, SE14, 5SF, UK, 135 Pips Road, London, SE14, 5SF ni ó ti máa wáyé. Bẹ̀rẹ̀ látago mẹ́ta ọ̀sán títí di agogo mẹ́wàá àṣálẹ́ UK time. Ọ̀fẹ́ àti ìrọ̀rùn ní ètò jíjẹ mímu ọjọ́ náà mọ bọ́sí fún wa. Tá ò sì ní gba kọ́bọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹnikẹ́ni fún owó ìwọlé. Tó jásí wípé gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ wá sí bí ètò ìgbà yìí lọ́jọ́ náà ó gbọ́dọ̀ gba tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì wọlé rẹ̀ lórí Eventbrite. Lọ́gán tẹ́ bá ti tẹ First Yorùbá Community in UK Meet and Greet Thanksgiving. Lẹ́wọ̀n láǹfààní àti forúkọ yín àti àwọn tó bá fẹ́ tẹ̀lé yín wá síbi ayẹyẹ yìí kalẹ̀ lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. Ẹ má gbàgbé wípé ètò tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì wa yìí dá lórí first come first serve. Fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé síwájú sí i tàbí tẹ́yin gan bá nírànwọ́ tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe fún wa kí ètò yìí lè wáyé kódò kí gbọ́ngbọ́n kan sí i. Bóyá yìí náà sì fẹ́ so kéèsì bísínẹ́sì tètò náà bá ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Ẹ lè fàtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ sọwọ́ sí wa látòrí ímeèlì wa ecco@yukgb.org àbí kẹ́ pè wá lórí 073-671-52852. Bákan náà ní ẹ lè pè 073-940-56266 tàbí kẹ́.
Well, adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa. Ìyá wa Comfort Ológunjà ní Nigeria government must pay Dr. Igbowo's money. Very important and urgent. We don't care if Nigeria is bankrupt or not. We open the phone line for probably 15 minutes. Fẹ́yìn tí ẹ bá fẹ́ ní ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ fẹ́ béèrè àbí nǹkan tí ẹ fẹ́ bá wa sọ. The number to call is +44 74 04 405917. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí the studio number tẹ́lẹ̀ fi bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ ní àṣálẹ́ yìí lórí Star Radio UK +44 74 04405917. I will get the phone line open just for 15 minutes. Nigeria has dragged our people into poverty. A máa play àwọn bíi audio méjì kan nísìn. Ẹ gbọ́ báwọn èèyàn wá ṣe ń sunkún. Ha! Our people are crying. They are crying. They are asking, what is going on? Kí ló dé tí ìyà yìí pọ̀ báyìí? And I don't know what to tell them. I don't know what to say to my people. But Gbenga Daniel oníká padà lọ sí farm. And I'm asking myself, which of the farm is he talking about? Is it the farm that we can't go where people are being massacred and killed? Irú farm wo lòun sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí? Baba wa Akim ni, it is hunger that will open their blind eye. Yoruba nation is the way out. Our people are crying. They are literally crying. And they are asking for help. I don't know what we have to do. Kí la máa ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ bá ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa? Kí la lè ṣe? Bàbá mi Àyìndé Usman wọ́n ní Ọlọ́run yóò máa fún wa ṣe lágbára Ọlọ́run. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ gbé àwọn tó ń pè wá ká gbọ́ ìtọ́fẹ́ bá wa sọ lórí Star Radio UK. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Ẹ jẹ́ àkọ́kọ́ lọ sọ́dọ̀ our first caller all the way from the United States of America. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Star Radio UK. Ẹ káalẹ́ níbi tẹ́ ti ń gbọ́ wa. Ẹ ti wà lórí ètò náà. Báwo la ṣe máa kí yín kẹ́ tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní bá sọ̀rọ̀?
Ọláyọmí ẹ káàsán.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò náà sà.
Ya Amẹ́ríkà láti ń pè o.
À ń gbọ́ yín sà.
Ya ṣe rí bàbá wa Gbenga Daniel tẹ́ni ká lọ sí vam ká lọ padà máa dáko.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Bàbá yẹn ń ta lára ni nítorí àwọn náà wà náà tó bá Nàìjíríà débi tó délé mi. Ṣe rí question tí mo fẹ́ bi ọmọ gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó ń gbọ́ ètò yìí ni pé ṣé ìlú kan wà tó ń jẹ́ Nàìjíríà? Kí lè dé Nàìjíríà? Ṣé a rí ìlú tó ń jẹ́ Nàìjíríà? Kí ni èdè Nàìjíríà? Gbogbo àwọn tó ń sọ pé ọmọ wọn ò ní ṣèdí bẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ kán fìlẹ̀kẹ̀ sí di ọmọ ẹlòmíì ilẹ̀kẹ̀ ti já mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́ sìn gbogbo wọn wá ń pariwo síta wọn ò tí ì rí nǹkan kan wọ́n ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni. Advice èmi á gbà àwọn èèyàn ní orí ìkànnì ní alẹ́ ni pé gbogbo àwa tá a wà ní diaspora ẹ jẹ́ ká mú ara wa lọ́kùnkúndùn ká tọ́jú ara wa. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ló ń ṣàárẹ̀ ń bí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa ló ń ṣàárẹ̀ ẹ̀ ń tẹ́yìn ń dùn ẹ̀ ń tẹ́sẹ̀ ń dùn ẹ̀ ń tápá ń dùn oríṣiríṣi. Ṣùgbọ́n a máa ń wò pé owó tá a fẹ́ sẹ́ǹdì sẹ́wọ̀n ẹbí wa ní Nàìjíríà pé owó kékeré ni ṣègbè tí bá ti mú $100 tí bá sẹ́ǹdì ẹ̀ àdòwò ńlá lọ́dọ̀ wọn. So àti sẹ́ǹdì owó yẹn kò kì í ní wá lára bẹ̀tẹ̀ àti tọ́jú ara wa ìṣòro ló jẹ́. Mo fẹ́ gba gbogbo àwọn tó bá ń gbọ́ ètò ilé ni mo fẹ́ gbà wọ́n nímọ̀ràn. Nàìjíríà ó dìgbà tí wọ́n bá mú ẹni tó bá ní ọmọ mẹ́ta tó mú kan lọ sọ́jà tó ní ẹjọ́ ṣé ẹ lè ra ọmọ yìí káwọn lè jẹun lálẹ́ ìgbà yẹn ni gbogbo ọmọ tó dìde fún àti gbara wọn lẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ olóṣèlú. Tí àwa tá a wà ní diaspora tá a bá dẹ̀ tí ìyé stop send owó sí wọn wọ́n á sì máa depend lé wa ni wọn ò ní lè dìde láti jà fúnra wọn. Gbogbo wọn bá ṣe ń pè mí sìn yẹ̀yẹ́ ni mo fi wọ́n ń ṣe nítorí mo pariwo tó nígbà tá à ń pariwo Yorùbá níṣẹ́ kò sí mo mọ iye owó mi tí mo ná. Ìgbà tá a fẹ́ ṣe mo mọ iye owó tí mo gbé kalẹ̀ fún wọn pé ó yá ẹ mọ́ káàkiri èèyàn kan tó bá fi sáyẹ̀ fún $100 ni ó yá ẹ mọ́ ṣe káàkiri mo mọ iye tí mo ná. Ṣùgbọ́n at the end of the day a sọ fún wọn gbà ẹ mọ́ dìbò ẹ mọ́ jáde ẹ mọ́ ṣe wọ́n ketí ikún wọ́n ní ọmọ wa ò ní ṣe mo ní àwọn ọmọ bàbá mi ọmọ ìyá mi tó jẹ́ pé ó dídí post bàbá wa onílẹ̀kẹ̀ wọ́n dídí post ẹ̀ sórí Facebook báyìí ní ọmọ ìyá mi ọmọ bàbá mi mo láwọn tó jẹ́ pé ọmọọṣẹ́ mi tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀gá mi kábàlà fẹ́ dìbò fún tàbá dìbò fún èèyàn tiwa mo dẹ̀ sọ fún ẹ pé àti Òbí o àtàtìkù àti Tinubu kò sí ẹni tó lè ṣe Nàìjíríà tó lè lójútùú bí Jésù gan bá wá tó mú Ànábì Muhammad tó fà lọ́wọ́ sẹ́fún vice and president Nàìjíríà ò lè lójútùú mọ́ àfitẹ́ bá pín ìlú yẹn. Nǹkan tí màá sọ láì gbà wá lákòókò ni pé gbogbo ẹ tó bá ti wà ní diaspora ẹ jẹ́ kán ṣọ́ owó sẹ́ẹ̀dì sílé ilé ìtàn sẹ́ẹ̀dì owó sílé yẹn ti tó yẹn ló fún wọn lọ́kàn balẹ̀ pé tí n bá ti pé bọ̀dá mi àbí àǹtí mi tẹ́ bá ti sẹ́ẹ̀dì iye kan màá rí pẹpẹ súùpù jẹ. Gbogbo bá ṣe ń sọ pé àánú wọn ṣe wá yìí tẹ́ bá débẹ̀ ẹ sì máa ráwọn tó ń mutí wọ́n ní bí àkànṣe di 700 naira ń sìn bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn èèyàn dẹ̀ ṣe ìrọ́jú tó ṣe mú. Nǹkan tẹ́mi fẹ́ sọ ni pé ẹ jẹ́ kí wọ́n fìlì ìtì yẹn ẹ jẹ́ kán mọ ogun fún ara ogun tí wọ́n dá sí ayé ara wọn lórí pé àbáwọn sọ tí wọn ò gbọ́. Ìgbòho jáde ó pariwo bàbá Akíntóyè jáde ó pariwo gbogbo àwọn mídíà jáde wọ́n pariwo àwọn SDM gbogbo wọ́n pariwo kò sí ẹni tó máa sọ pé òun gbọ́ pé kìnnìkan Yorùbá nation bẹ̀rẹ̀ kàkà kan fọ́lò ìgbésẹ̀ tá à ń sọ ńgbà yẹn ṣe náà fi wá ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ náà èsù tí wàá padà bọ̀ alájà báyìí àwọn aláwọ̀ fún wọn ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ báyìí èmi ò gẹ́gẹ́ bí èèyàn kan tó bá ti pè mí sí i màá ní ẹ̀kọ́ oríire ti president tuntun o adẹ̀ ti gbọ́ pé ẹ ti ra ráìsì ní 3,000 sí o ẹ ti ń jẹun dáadáa o wọn á ní irọ́ ọba rẹ̀ ń sọ báyìí ṣèbálẹ̀ ti rí epo ní èmi ò kúkú pa news ṣèbálẹ̀ ti rí epo 150 yẹ̀yẹ́ mo fi wọ́n ṣe é sìn so ó dẹ̀ ṣe wà yẹn ọlọ́run ò lè bínú sí mi nítorí pé mo pariwo tó so nǹkan tí màá sọ fún àwọn èèyàn wa ni pé kán kíìpù owó wọn kán dẹ̀ tọ́jú ara wọn tẹ́lẹ̀ nǹkan máa fẹ́ lò ó sílé ẹ̀kọ́ ètò.
ìgbọ́ láti bàbá wa ní ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílùú òyìnbó ẹ̀jẹ̀ àtọ́jú ara wa mo kí ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò TJ bàbá mo máa kí grandma Comfort Adélẹ́yẹ mo kí bàbá wa Ṣeun Lawal mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ṣì ń wà lórí ìjókòó àti ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti lọ àti ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wọlé tẹ́ ń jáde torí pé irú ọjọ́ báyìí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ program ló máa ń wáyé ẹjọ́ tẹ́ bá ń pè láìka máa sọ pé bí Jésù bá padà bí ànábì kò ń ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ tá a máa ń fẹ́ gbọ́ ẹjọ́ ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ bá pè náà ẹ mọ̀ pé orí ètò tá wà yìí a kì í gba èébú lórí ẹ̀ so abẹ̀yìn ni tẹ́ bá ń pè ẹ máa rántí pé ìlú tó sì ní òfin làwa náà wà torí pé ethics dẹ̀ wà nínú ètò tá à ń ṣe so abẹ̀yìn ni ẹ sì lè pè wọlé ojú òpó sì wà ní ṣíṣí títí di aago 8:30 ní ètò yìí máa wá sí ìsàlẹ̀ +44 74 044 05917 ẹ jẹ́ ká pè díẹ̀díẹ̀ 4 méjì 74 044 05917 ẹ rántí pé ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ fi plus síwájú ẹ̀ òun á gbé yín wá sínú bíbá kẹ́yìn náà wá bá wa sọ kí lẹ́yìn náà rò pẹ̀lú gbogbo tó ń lọ nínú Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yìí àwọn èèyàn wa wọ́n níbi ń pa wọ́n kí la máa ṣe sọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí ẹ já lọ sí òkè lọ́hùn ká tún lọ gba ẹni tó wà lójú òpó ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò bàbá wa ẹ gbá wa gbóhùn sókè.
ẹ kalẹ̀ Yorùbá lábẹ́ sọ lálẹ́ ọ̀gbẹ́ni Kóìkì bàbá wa nínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá adúpẹ́ fún ìṣe títẹ̀ fún àwọn Yorùbá ẹ ní sì sọ ojú òní tí àbá mi ẹ ní fọmọdé ní fàyàdí o láṣẹ Èdùmàrè àbá mi ṣe rí ó dún ọkọ tẹ máa ń sọ tó máa ń dùn ṣe rí agbọ́dọ̀ máa gbé àwọn ancestor tiwa ga ẹ̀mẹ́ka máa gbé ancestor ìlú onílù ga ká máa gbé àwọn òòṣà tiwa àwọn orúmọlẹ̀ tiwa ga wọ́n ní ilẹ̀ ló máa ń gbèyàn ká tó kọ́ Elédùmarè tẹ́ ẹ máa pe àbáwá gbòójọ́ mi ẹ máa forúkọ àwọn ancestor tó ja ilẹ̀ yẹn àbá mi ká má ṣètèké ká má fi àbòsí kún ṣé ẹ ń gbọ́ mi sà. hello bàbá mi ṣé ẹ ń gbọ́ mi ká má fi àbòsí kún ó náà tó gbalẹ̀ yẹn o ẹ máa pe ànábì kòró nígbà tá a máa gbalẹ̀ yẹn Jésù mọ̀ ń palẹ̀ yẹn o ànábì lárúbáwá ló mọ̀ ilẹ̀ yẹn ló gbà fún wọn o bàbá a ní àwọn òòṣà àti orúmọlẹ̀ tiwa tó gbalẹ̀ yẹn fún wa ẹ ṣe ká máa orúkọ yẹn kọ́ lè bá wa jàjà ilá ní àjàpé kọ́ bá wa jà ẹ máa pe ìgbó bàbá wa òòṣà ní ànábì àbí Jésù mọ̀ òótọ́ mo sọ fún yín ẹ máa forúkọ wọn ancestor àwọn òòṣà tiwa orúmọlẹ̀ tiwa pè wọn kí Ọbàtálá Ọbàtáṣẹ bí ọ̀run mi làwọn tó tẹ̀lé ẹjọ́ gangan tó ń gbalẹ̀ fún àtàwọn àfi ń jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́nì tàbí jẹ́ ọmọlúwàbí lẹ́nì ìyẹn number 1 ẹ máa forúkọ ẹ máa pọ̀ wọ́n mọ́ ilẹ̀ yẹn ò ní dùn ilẹ̀ ló máa ń pèyàn kò lẹ́yìn Olódùmarè ilẹ̀ ló tún pèyàn ilẹ̀ Olódùmarè máa ń mí sí tó máa fi ń pèyàn ká máa forúkọ wọn ọwọ́ orúmọlẹ̀ tí wàá pé bàbá wa Ìgbòho òòṣà bí Ọ̀rúnmìlà Ọbàtálá Ọbàtáṣẹ ká máa pè wọn kí ilẹ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ lè ṣe kéde kó lè du àṣẹ. number 2 ní wípé àbá mi ẹ má bá wọn pìtì abẹ́rẹ́ sọ́yọ̀bà ẹ má bá wọn ní ìnáwó tó wà Nàìjíríà yẹn ẹ má pìtì fún wọn mọ́ ẹ má bá wọn kẹ́dùn mọ́ kọ́sì ẹ̀yìn Kóìkì ń pariwo nígbà yẹn Ìyè Dára ń pariwo bàbá wa Gbẹ̀du ń pariwo ọwọ́ IVM ń pariwo ìyá mi dr ara gbogbo àdúgbò náà ń pariwo everybody ń pariwo ń gbà ẹ bàbá Èkìtì Ọmọlúkà gbogbo ń pariwo DDK gbogbo ń pariwo Àfọ̀njá ti di ń pariwo pé kíni kan ìyá mi bàbá mi ó máa fi ibi sẹ́yìn wà ní. wọ́n ní iná Afrikanu Sunday Igboho ló fẹ́ kó ogun jà wọ́n ní Nàìjíríà nítorí ọ̀fẹ́ pamọ́lé o ní July 1st tẹ̀bá rántí wọ́n fẹ́ pa Ìgbòho ṣàmọ́lé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn olùmọ̀lá ló kó yọ o. Elédùmarè ọba tí kì í sí bí àbòsí àti gbogbo àwọn tẹ́ẹ̀kún ń pa tí èbí ń pa tí wọ́n ń pa ẹ̀jẹ̀ aláìṣẹ̀ tí wọ́n pa pátá ló kó ọmọ Adéyẹmọ yọ ní ọjọ́ ìgbogbo olùsùn mójú ọdún kan gbogbo aṣèwánú ṣọ́ọ̀kì yẹn aṣèwánú ìrora yẹn bàbá mi ò ní pa fún yóò tó wá fi díje mi o bàbá àìpí ìbáwọ tẹ́ẹ̀bù Nàìjíríà yẹn èmi ń gbàdúrà bí mi ṣe ń bí Ọlọ́run Elédùmarè ọdún tàwa kò ṣe gọ́ọ̀bù rẹ̀ ṣe àlà ọ̀dà tààlà ò láàánú Elédùmarè ló ní àánú tó bá gbé mi ṣe ń bẹ̀ o kí epo ti 2,000 kẹ́sì 100,000 wọ́n lè mọ scores àwọn mi ìṣe ìyá yẹn ni wọ́n mú wọn padà sí tó ń lọ ìyá yẹn ni wọ́n mú wọn padà sí tó ń lọ because bísí tẹ́bí pọ́n sí kọlọ́bá àwọn aṣáájú lẹ́gà kọlọ́bá MC Olómọ kọlọ́bá ọba ńlá ẹ̀sẹ̀ ọba ńlá kọlọ́bá àga disc kọlọ́bá èmi ni gbogbo wọn pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kọlọ́bá ọ̀kọlọ́mọ ẹ̀rọ ọlọ́mọ tó wà ní Amẹ́ríkà kọlọ́bá lẹ́gẹ̀sì tó wà ní France kọlọ́bá ogun tó tọ̀ kọlọ́bá dìbò àtẹ̀mísí Olómọ tó wọ́n ṣe 5,000 march rally fún Tinubu nísìnyí gbàtúgbẹ́ dá dúró sí bàbá mélòó inú wọn mọ́ nígbà tó wà pọ̀rọ̀ ń gbà pé Yorùbá nation nìkan lè ṣe wọ́n ní ká kó sí lọ àmọ́ kọ́kọ́ àwọn ọmọ wa ní ọba yẹn náà tó wá ọmọ wa ní ọmọ wọn ń ṣe ìdílé kẹ̀lẹ̀kẹ̀ ẹ̀kan fi ilẹ̀kẹ̀ ló ti fún Ọlọ́run pánsẹ̀ wọ́n ti fún Ọlọ́run báyìí ọrùn yẹn máa fún ọ̀pá ní àbá mi èmi ò pìtì anybody o èkó ń ṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ìtọ̀dájẹ̀ṣẹ̀ Elédùmarè rí inú mi ó rí pé à ń jà fún àwọn tí ebi ń pa àtọ́tọ́ ń pa wọ́n wá láti Mainland ó ní hòtẹ́ẹ̀lì ó mọ̀ òkú ẹ̀dá pàṣẹ Amẹ́ríkà o. Nígbà gbogbo ẹ̀ tó wọ́n Nàìjíríà lọ láti ṣọba tó dẹ́ tó lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Ẹ jẹ́ máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sọ lágbára ọba tó dẹ́ tó dọ̀rùn àbí tí ìgbò.
Nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì bàbá wa yẹn àti rí díẹ̀ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń bá wa sọ. Mo ṣì ń kí gbogbo ọmọ wa níbi tí ó kù 20 ìṣẹ́jú tá a máa fi gbé ètò náà wálẹ̀. A ṣì ń gba ìpè bíi 2-3 sí fún àǹfààní ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá fẹ́ bá wa dá sí ní àṣálẹ́ yìí. Fẹ́yìn tí ẹ gbọ́ ohun tí à ń sọ látẹ̀ǹkan èdè ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni à ń sọ lórí Starr Radio UK.
This is Starr Radio UK.
In your car, at work, at home, on your smartphone.
Tó máa jẹ́ pé lákọ̀ọ́kọ́ yín lẹ máa darapọ̀ mọ́ wa lórí ètò yìí. Ètò náà ń pè ní Naija Voices tó máa wáyé ní ọjọ́jọ́ Wednesday ní orí Starr Radio UK. Bó kí gbogbo wa ẹ má bínú fún all the technical, the audio, the sound, a lot of platforms are complaining that there is a lot of skipped on the audio. Not too sure why. There shouldn't be any on this particular platform here, but we cannot do that. Anytime the Ruba Lencon, www.rbebanking.org. Tẹ́ bá ti lọ síbẹ̀, gbogbo ntẹ́ bá fẹ́ mọ̀. Contact details wọn ó wà níbẹ̀. Ẹ lọ sórí ẹ̀ www.rbebanking.org. This is not the time tá máa jókòó tá máa ní kí ni wọ́n ń ṣe. This is the time to get involved. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀, I've seen people say, yes, we would have been able to take it if everybody has been a team player, if everybody has listened to the coach. But ẹ̀yin náà fẹ́ dá ṣe ti yín, olúkálùkù fẹ́ dá ṣe tiẹ̀. And eventually, we saw what transpired. If we have all stick to the plan, stood together, we would have moved the mountain. But because àwọn kan tún yọ ọsẹ̀ níbì kan, àwọn kan yọ níbì kan, and eventually, everything, folded apart. But we are grateful pé even in the midst of all that, àwa kan ṣì dúró pé sẹ́, either Yoruba nation or nothing. Because Nigeria has dragged our people into serious, abject poverty. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, we listen to this and then a tún máa padà wá mo ṣì ń bọ̀ mo ì tí ì lọ.
ẹlẹ́pẹ̀kẹ̀lẹ̀ lóní gbọ́dọ̀ rọ́ṣọ fùrọ̀dán ìjàgùdù láàrin ọkọ àtìyàwó gbọ́dọ̀ dán wọn àfìsẹ́yìn ó ti tó gẹ́. báwo là á ṣe ń ta ká tètè tọ́ kó má bàa dẹran nídìí láàrin lọ́kọláya mọ́. kò dára kọ́kọ́ mọ lùyàwó bí ẹni lu bàrà tàbí kíyàwó fọ́kọ̀kọ̀ ọbẹ̀ mọ́kọ lórí. ó bá rí bẹ́ẹ̀ ọpẹ́ ni fún Reverend Mrs. Margaret Ọláwáyé ní Fátúrọ́tì tó kọ̀wé kan àrà ọ̀tọ̀ tí ó fòpin sí rògbòrìyẹ̀ nínú ìdílé. Enough is enough on domestic violence lórúkọ ìwé náà ó ṣe pàtàkì láti rà á. tí ẹ rántí arábìnrin òǹkọrin ìgbàgbọ́ ni Sister Ọ̀ṣínnàṣì tó dára alẹ̀ nítorí ìjàgùdù. àló tó gẹ́. àbẹ́ ìmọye ìdílé tọkọ tàbí ìyàwó ti dèrò ẹ̀wọ̀n látàrí èdè ìyedè tó búrẹ́kẹ́ láàrin wọn. Enough is enough. gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́ lọ́kọ gbéyàwó ẹ̀yin dádì àmọ́ mi. ẹ máa béèrè fún kọ́pì tiyín látọ̀dọ̀ amazon.com for free shipping. fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ẹ kàn sí www.widowsadvocate.org tàbí email wuraola55@gmail.com. Enough is enough on domestic violence. látọwọ́ Reverend Mrs. Margaret Ọláwáyé ẹ máa rà ó.
mo kí bàbá wa lẹ́ǹkan sí Sunday Adébánjọ wọ́n ní Mr. Koiki Igboho Oòṣà is not Anobi Lárúbáwá o is a real Yoruba man, our Ọ̀rúnmìlà in Yoruba land. Dizzy man 123 good evening and welcome sórí ètò Star Radio UK. You went on to say Yoruba nation or nothing folks. Ìyàwó Comfort Adeleye sọ pé I pity them but they don't want pity themselves. Enoti Timaya, I don't want to play that. Pity also, politician, pity also. I'm sure some of you remember that. Yawa Celicia, so Yoruba nation shall succeed. Like Borolong. Our people are suffering. Our people are hungry. What do we need to do? Ejeka gba kọlù tó ń bọ̀ iná. Ká lọ bèrè kí ló fẹ́ bá wa sọ lórí ètò Star Radio kó tó di pé a máa ká ètò náà sílẹ̀. Hello, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
Ẹ kálẹ́ o, Mr. Koiki.
Ẹ kálẹ́ ìyá wa, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
Okay. Ẹ kújọ́ mẹ́ta. Ọkùnrin tó sọ̀rọ̀ tó ní pé àwọn máa ń tó sọ̀rọ̀ tó tán ní pé káwa táwa ní diaspora kan tọ́jú ara wa. Òótọ́ náà kúkú ń sọ because nígbà tí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbogbo wa la kó láyà bíi pé ọ̀la. Despite power kan tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé it might take time. We still wish that pé káwọn èèyàn wa bọ́ nínú wàhálà ìkáwa náà lè rí ilé lọ. But bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ wọ́n da gbogbo ẹ̀rú. So tẹ́bá jókòó tẹ́bá wò ẹ ti máa mọ̀ pé kò sí nǹkan tí àwa ta wà ń sì ta lè ṣe ju pé bẹ́ẹ̀ yín ṣe ń ṣe ìtẹ́ ìṣí wọn létí. Then ká máa prepare because ìlú yẹn fúnra rẹ̀ ló máa break kò sẹ́ni tó máa break ó máa break fúnra rẹ̀. So tó bá wá break tán bá ṣe fẹ́ moving kó ní kálukú mú ìtó jẹ́ tiẹ̀. Òun ni ká máa oko ẹ̀ ní ká máa ṣọ́nsìn because tí kò bá ṣẹlẹ̀ bó ṣe ń ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn yìí wọn ò ní dá mọ́. Àbí kí lẹ́ni mo sọ mo ń sọ fún yín pé ẹ jẹ́ ká máa wò wọ́n tó kò máa ṣe wọn ò ní dá mọ́.
Òdodo ọ̀rọ̀ náà lẹ́ sọ yìí wàláì òdodo ọ̀rọ̀ ni.
So wọn ò ní dá mọ́ so at the end of it all everybody náà máa ní ẹsẹ̀ ìjà máa lọ ẹ ṣe àwọn tí ò fẹ́ gbọ́ wọn àwọn máa tọ́nà máa wá wá kiri sí pé ń bo lẹ́wọ̀ ẹ̀yẹn ní Yorùbá nation ń bo là ń lọ kí ni ká ṣe it will happen because eléyìí le jù tí o bá ń ṣe pé president wa I thought he was a very very intelligent person. Àdúgbò wa intelligent ni wọn ní tẹ́rí gbà nǹkan tó tẹ́rí gbà yẹn. Bóyá wọ́n dẹ̀ kò fẹ́ ṣe but wọ́n ti débẹ̀ ń sìn. Báwo how is he gonna do it? The first thing he did ìyẹn ti kọ́kọ́ nullify gbà rí pé bóyá ó ní interest àwọn èèyàn nínú. How can you gbé owó lé owó epo tó tó yẹn ní ìlú tí ò ń ṣe pé bóyá ẹ ní kọ̀ọ̀kan industry kan àbí iṣẹ́ kan tẹ gbé sílẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ tó jáde ní yunifásitì? How do I? Àwọn ọdẹ ìgbà ẹ̀ mò ń sọ pé is this possible? Pé bóyá president wa ṣì ń ṣeré di pé bóyá tó bá dé bí oṣù mélòó kan wá gbé wálẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn èèyàn á lè máa yé ilẹ̀. Bọ́kàkà kó sọ̀ lára ìyá jẹ́ ọmọ ẹ̀ ló fi bí obìnrin. How would our people survive this? Pẹ̀lú onslaught tó tún gbé fún wọn lọ́nà ṣàkíyàn. Àdúrà tèmi ni pé kí etí gbogbo wa ṣí àwọn tó wà lé ni mò ń sọ o. Káwọn gan dìde kó prepare ara wọn pé tí àtàkì kan bá wá bá ṣe máa fèsì ẹ̀rí kan yé rò pé àwọn kan ń bọ̀ wá gbà wọ́n. It's time now for them to know pé anything ló lè ṣẹlẹ̀ sí wọn if they do not prepare. I hope they are listening now. They need to prepare themselves. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yìí náà ló ti sọ pé ẹ prepare ara yín sílẹ̀. Ẹ prepare ara yín now. Ẹ oríṣiríṣi bẹ́ẹ̀ tiẹ̀ láyé ìbọn. Ẹ lọ bá àwọn ìlú tó ní bí ìlú àwọn ìjà rẹ gbogbo wọ̀nyẹn tó ní tó fi mú àwọn pípù ìtọ́ máa dúró sójú kan. Ẹ kó mọ́ra ẹ fi wọ́n ìlú yín round. That's the thing we should be telling them now. Then I know them I'm prepare. Okay, see Nigeria about 4 because long when those who the gods want to make mad, and when the world wants to destroy, first make mad. So they cannot reason. They will not reason. Even reasoning won't go only work. Because that country is meant to be split up and it's going to be split up. So that's it. See, Baba Tinubu kan lọ tẹ́rí gba wàhálà tó jẹ́ pé orí wọn ni gbogbo ẹ ti máa ṣe ni because I don't know how he's doing that because all this is saying it's just not working. Everything is not working. I don't know. So we should not be gbọ́dọ̀ kárí sọ ó yẹ ká máa sọ fún Ọlọ́run pé ṣé bó ṣe fẹ́ ni is this the way you want to split this country máa bá ṣe lọ ṣùgbọ́n nínú àánú ẹ fi ojú rere wo àwọn èèyàn wa kán má kú sínú wàhálà kán àwọn pípì má dẹ̀ gbalẹ̀ wa. That's all I've got to say.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá wa. Thank you so much. Mo kí ìyá wa. Thank you. Ìyá yìí sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ní ká tọ́jú ara wa èyí tí à ń bẹ ní ìlú òyìnbó. Mo kí ẹ Onyeka Okere. Mo kí ẹ̀yin Biafra náà ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí gbogbo àjọ ń ṣe. Ìtakùkù ń ṣe àti táwa ń ṣe self-determination ló ń pè é. It is not a crime. Àwa ni ká wá mọ ta fẹ́. Ẹ bá gbóhùn yẹn sókè ní kíákíá torí pé a kù 9 minutes ká fi parí ètò yìí. Ẹ gbóhùn sókè à ń gbọ́ yín sà.
Ẹ kálẹ́ sà.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
Ṣé rí ohun tí èmi kàn fẹ́ sọ fáwọn èèyàn wa tó wà lé báyìí ni pé Nàìjíríà fúnra rẹ̀ báyìí lọ́wọ́ tó wà báyìí àwọn náà ti rí gbogbo ẹ̀. Òtítọ́ ló máa lékè. Òtítọ́ tá a ti sọ fún wọn. Pẹ̀lú gbogbo wàhálà tẹ́ ti ṣe tẹ́ fi sọ fún wọn ohun tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gan báyìí ẹ̀ ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀. Nǹkan yọkan tẹ̀ kan máa bá wọn ṣe báyìí ni pé gbogbo àwọn tó jẹ́ bí representative wọn ní local government kọ̀ọ̀kan tí wọn bá mọ orúkọ wọn ẹgbẹ́ máa bá wa gbé jáde fún wọn ká máa mọ àwọn tó jẹ́ olórí burúkú nu wọn pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí kò sẹ́ni kankan nu wọn wọ́n sọ ẹ jẹ́ ká máa mọ̀ wọ́n ẹ jẹ́ káwọn tó wà lé ká máa mọ̀ wọ́n lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ táwọn ẹ̀ ká máa mọ̀ àwọn tó ń pa wọ́n ká máa mọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n ò dáàbò bò wọ́n orúkọ wọn bóyá orúkọ wọn tí wọn ò mọ̀ yẹn ẹ bá wa wá orúkọ wọn jáde nǹkan tí mo kàn fẹ́ kẹ́ bá wa ṣe nìyẹn gbogbo òlú táwọn Fúlàní ti ń dààmú wọn yìí àwọn representative tó wà ń bẹ̀ a fẹ́ máa mú orúkọ wọn lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí ẹjọ́ tó ń tọ́ ọlọ́run ta pé ìkọyọ̀kan ló gọ̀bẹ́ sì lọ́wọ́ yín pé ṣe fún wa nìyẹn.
Ọ̀dà ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyẹn ni pé gbogbo àwọn tó bá jẹ́ House of Rep ládùúgbò yẹn a gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ wọ́n a ní lè gbé ìpè mí mọ́ ẹ má bínú bàbá wa Ṣẹ́gun láti Paris torí pé ọjọ́ ó ti lọ adẹ̀ní láti wind down ètò náà bí a ta bá tún wà lórí ètò níjọ́ mi ẹ bá wa dá sí mo kí bàbá wa ìyá wa Ọláhùnmí Pedro wọ́n ní good evening Mr. Koiki, the Lord will bless your effort. Thank you so much everyone. It has been on the finest African and the Caribbean radio station in London. My producer is also sending me a signal and he says
this is Starr Radio UK.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone. The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
all around the world.
mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá wa darapọ̀ mọ́ ètò ti àṣálẹ́ yìí mo kí bàbá wa olóyè Dr. Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho mo kí ẹ Dizzy Man 123 mo kí Easy Dollar mo kí yín ní Òkè Ògùn mo kí yín ní Abẹ́òkúta mo mà kí Governor Sanwó-Olú kí ló wá dé tí ẹ gbé Lagos Trade Show wá sí London tí ẹ involve àwọn Lagos State Union kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣé ń bá wọn jà ni torí pé kò yí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wa. Lagos State Union has been an organization that has been for the last 30 years. Gbogbo governor de ló máa ń jẹ patron wọn kí ló wá dé tẹ gbé a program of culture and heritage under the London mayor which happened some few days ago but involve àwọn Lagos State Union abẹ́ sọ fún wọn ni àbí lẹ́tà ọ̀dọ́dọ̀ wọn ni torí kò yé mi mo máa ń kíyà mi Rukayat Ọmọwùnmí ẹ má bínú pé a lè gba ìpè kankan mọ́ ètò Star Radio náà láti wà lórí ẹ̀ láti ibi wákàtí méjì àtàbọ̀. I would now like to come back again and finish it up by saying thank you so much once again. In Sokoto State, we say good evening. In Kano, we say good evening. Unfortunately, I don't know how to say that in Hausa. We don't have any problem. We are not, how do I want to put it? We don't have any problem with, with other ethnic groups. But what we are saying is that we can still be neighbors. We can have cordial relationship. We can trade. We can also have business working together. But the union that brought us together in 1914 doesn't seem to be working anymore. And it is now making us all hate each other. And what we are saying tonight is, we hope that there will be peace around the world. There's so much happening across the globe today. But one thing is, be rest assured that I'll be back again next week, Wednesday, as we continue to advise, educate, and we hope that, the solution between the Nigerian Labour Congress, I told you the history, they were almost taken out by Babangida and Abacha, during the military era, but they survived it. Are they going to survive it anymore? We will have to wait and see. But for now, as we are about to go, I say good evening and thanks so much to everyone that have joined us.
YNFF Board of Trustees ìdíje àṣà wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, àṣà àti ìṣe wa ò ní parun láíláí. Ìdí nìyí tí YNFF Board of Trustees ṣe ń ṣonígbọ̀wọ́ eré ìdíje àṣà àti ìṣe Yorùbá nípínlẹ̀ mẹ́jọ, ìpínlẹ̀ Kogi, Kwara, Èkó, Ọ̀ṣun, Oǹdó, Èkìtì, Ọ̀yọ́ àti ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Láwọn ìpínlẹ̀ tí ìdíje bí ayò ọlọ́pọ́n, ìjàkadì, ijó ìbílẹ̀, ìdíje ẹwà àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ yóò ti máa wáyé látọjọ́ Monday, November 6, 2023 títí di November 13, 2023. Ní final audition máa wáyé láwọn ìpínlẹ̀ wọ̀nyí láti yan àwọn tó perégedé láti ṣojú ìpínlẹ̀ kọ̀ọ̀kan nínú ìdíje àṣekágbá tí á wáyé ní Muajas Hotel Nìbàdàn November 21 arrival day. Ìdíje á wáyé ní November 22 títí di November 24 ní Muajas Hotel nílùú Ìbàdàn. Ẹni sọ lẹ́nu sàpò ìyàkọ́ odò tó bá gbàgbé orísun ṣetán láti parun ní ẹ̀já àjọ gbárùkù tìdíje àṣà àtìṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tẹlẹ́kùnjẹkùn yìí. Fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé tàbí ẹ fẹ́ ṣonígbọ̀wọ́ tàbólùrànlọ́wọ́ ẹ lè kàn sí Mr. Wasiu Àyìnà lórí +134 7500 9472 Ajia Queen Ara +447 946 313 160 Mrs. Roslyn +141 699 22189 tàbí T-Best +234 816 049 5979. Aṣọ ìbílẹ̀ nìkan la yàn láàyò níbi àwọn ìdíje wọ̀nyí. Ìdíje àṣà àti ìṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹlẹ́kùnjẹkùn ọdún 2023 Yorùbá World in Action YNFF lónìí. Àṣà àti ìṣe wa ò ní parun láéláé.
Àṣà àti ìṣe wa kò ní parun láéláé. Mo máa ń kí ìyá wa Olúṣọlá David, mo kí dáadáa, mo kí bàbá wa Chibanji Ayélóge, mo kí ìyá wa Rukayat Ọmọwùnmí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Thank you so much once again for spending the beautiful evening. Out of so many things that is happening out there, look, the social media today is big. We're at about 1 billion people that are doing different things, so even if we have few of you right here with us, we appreciate it because we know that there's so many things happening simultaneously, but you prefer to be on the Starr Radio. You prefer to be on the Starr Radio UK network. I didn't realize that my audio was down. For those of you that are listening to us on the Starr Radio UK, sorry for that. But for again, I say,
this is Starr Radio UK.
Orúkọ tèmi ni Ọláyọmí Koiki. Every one of you call me Koiki. Ìjẹ̀bú Òde, confirmed from Ogun State, southwest of Nigeria. Muki Omode, Muki Agbalagba. I'll be back again next week, but tomorrow make sure you join me at exactly 11 o'clock on the Starr Radio UK. We're also going to be having the property hour for those of you that want to be, property home owners. You want to make sure you join, the evening program tomorrow. But as I leave you tonight, we pray for those of you at home, those that are going through difficulties, whatever you're going through, please do not commit suicide. It is not in the interest of yourself, not in the interest of the community or the loved ones. And those of us that are outside, look, don't feel that you are young, you expose yourself. If you have to put on that thermal wear, put it on. If you have to put on the thermal wear leggings, put it on. The weather will catch up with you when you get to the old age. Thank you so much, Archie. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Francis. Sorry for the noise at the background. For many of you that have been saying there's a noise at the background, what are you going to do with it? I can assure you that work will be done on that next week. Thank you so much to all our callers, from America to Nigeria, Bishop Adesina. I don't know how Nigerians are surviving. No electricity. The power bank will drain quickly. Petrol is expensive. Gas is expensive. President Bola Tinubu, I hope you will do the needful and revive the Nigerian economy. That is how far I can go tonight. And I say, Odaro Onayonikasun. And wherever you are, don't lose hope. Yoruba Nation will come in our lifetime. It does not matter how much they've tried to drag it down. And as I leave you with this, we say, may hunger not catch up with us.
Ìjọba àgbáyé ẹ gbà wá o, ẹ gbà wá o, ẹni ká dìbò fún yín tẹ́ wọlé fìyà jẹ wá o. Ẹja tá a rà ní 30,000, ó di 70,000, kó tẹ 15,000, ó di 40,000. Ẹ ṣàánú ebi ń pa wá, ẹ má ní wá lára. A lè jáde, a lè jẹun o. A ti wà nulẹ̀, ẹja ìlú ọ̀nà àtàtà fi rán ọmọ ní skúlù. A lè rán ọmọ skúlù bá a lè jó, a lè wá sọ́jà mọ́, a lè jẹun. Ẹ ṣàánú, ẹ má ní wá lára, ara ní wá o. Ara ni aráàlú ẹ ṣàánú, ẹ bá fara ni wá o, ẹ bá sọ gbogbo èdè rọ o, ọ̀tẹ̀ yìí kò dáa fún wa o, ọ̀tẹ̀ yìí ó ní gbogbo òlú lára ni, ọ̀tẹ̀ yìí ó ní gbogbo òlú lára, ẹ má ní wá lára, ẹ má fara ni wá, ẹ ṣàánú wa, ẹ ṣàánú wa.